Costa Rica is full of many beautiful sights. Under your pillow is not one of them.
Scorpion on my pillow.
Still alive?
I'd say it's very much still alive. A gigantic stinger is curled high above at the ready. I don't know if he was sleeping under this terrifying creature all night, but I think he might have been. If so, he's really lucky he never fluffed the pillow. Seriously though, I really want to know what kind of scorpion this is, and how risky this event really was. In some parts of the world, it's customary to never put your shoes on in a hurry. Here's why.
Hayda ka tingin.
Isla pasang lang pagod yan. And go ahead.
A large snake has coiled up in the toe of his shoe and refuses to get out. If he had put it on without looking, then the snake would have no doubt defended itself. He says that this is a non-venomous juvenile rat snake, and I wanted to know if this is an accurate description. I see no bright markings, so I would say he's at least right about the non-venomous part. He gets it out using a hook they keep around just for this purpose, and does not seem too worried about it. But as far as I'm concerned, any snake in my shoe should be considered highly dangerous. After watching this creepy video, I might start checking my shoes each time before I put them on. Are you alone in the dark? Posted to the Chills Narrator subreddit by Citizen ZTV. This brave cameraman invites whatever lurks in the darkness to come and say hi. Be careful what you wish for. While wandering through the cemetery, this paranormal device picks up not only noises or greetings, but a figure that appears as though it's stalking him.
You can come and say hi. We're just going to go for a wander.
The figure looks like it's walking slowly for a moment, then it disappears. Is this just a glitch, or was there something walking alongside this explorer in the darkness? Is this the floating soul of a departed one? Published by Frankly2112 in October of 2008, a ghost hunting crew encountered a strange floating orb while wandering through a cemetery at night. The light glows brightly at the center of what appears to be a semi-transparent figure. Then again, the apparent figure could just be the extension of the light's rays. As the cameraman pans away and back again, the beam moves quickly out of frame and out of sight. YouTuber Price Paranormal writes, "It almost seems elemental or interdimensional." Others note that the light seems to materialize there, and that it appears like someone holding fire in their hands. What do you think this is? Are the spirits alive in this graveyard? I'd be staying far away from this place. Ghosts love to play games. This playful ghost was caught in a short clip by Janeth Mendoza Ponce and posted on Facebook. Ponce writes, "My daughter playing outside Northside High School caught this video. Ghost or not, looks creepy to me. Since it was only them, 3 there, 2 running and 1 recording. If you look closely, the figure disappears before they run around the corner. The video shows 2 of the girls racing towards the opposite end of the school buildings. Then suddenly a 3rd figure appears, running perpendicular along the opposite building. As Ponce stated, the figure does seem to disappear before the girls arrive. If you watch closely, it does appear that something is behind there, and that's where the figure emerges." Many in the comments familiar with the area insist that the field house is haunted. Whether you take the skeptic's word for it or the believers, the shadow creature is here to stay. An abundance of paranormal activity means Stephanie Elmager is never truly home alone.
I'm going to walk around my house. The reason I'm filming this right now is I'm trying to catch some paranormal activity on my recorder. As you can see, there is nobody in my house. Do you hear that? My TV just came on.
A kids program politely tells her to get out of the house, and then the lights turn on by themselves.
Oh, and the alarm just went off. Do you see this? There is nobody in this house. The TV just came on. Holy. If that was a ghost, give me another sign. Anything. anything. You gotta be kidding me. Does everybody see that?
She crosses the kitchen to show us where the light switches are, and
There is nobody in this house. Look, the lights are right there. If anybody at all, I'm gonna turn it off. It was even up. Look, if anybody, guys, what the?
a bedroom is haunted by a pale figure with a long crooked neck who is either standing behind or on top of her bed. When she does a double take, she finds it much closer now, peering at her from around the door.
Oh my God. Okay, I don't get scared very often. Oh, that just freaked me out. Okay, let's walk back in there.
I agree with her completely. I saw it too, so either this is a real ghost sighting, which I'm almost sure it is, or we are both losing our minds.
I am not losing my mind. There is nobody in here. Look, there is nobody anywhere.
A ghost hunter named Solo Ambush goes exploring an abandoned morgue in the woods full of creepy things. The place has been deserted for years, but the smell of bodies has buried itself into the morgue walls. This table surface must be where they were prepared for burial. On it, he finds a needle to sew whatever shut. He puts it in his pocket, which possibly upsets the spirits because that's when the paranormal activity begins. He puts an object on the table and invites any spirits nearby to make it move.
Làm qua cái tập. Ada lagi. Dia sudah mula bunyi.
A defiant spirit moves things behind him instead. When he goes to investigate the noise, he finds nothing, and then he gets an idea.
Okay, let's switch off the light.
A figure in red silently passes across the floor of the haunted, abandoned mortuary with its head down. He runs after it and finds only the stench of decay is left in its wake, nothing else.
Bau busuk lagi.
He says this ghost sighting could be a reflection of light, but he is standing in a dark hallway with the lights off, so I'm not sure I agree with that one. Like many of the previously haunted places he's gone exploring in the past, what he's caught on tape in this building is most likely paranormal and terrifying, and as he leaves, something slams the door closed behind him. The ghost hunter is no longer welcome to go exploring this haunted place. Not that he ever was to begin with. A YouTube channel called DYP Official finds some kind of abandoned facility way out of the woods. One climbs to the top of a big blue container and sticks their head over the end, which is scary for reasons I'll get back to soon enough. Two other large vats grab their attention.
Found a whole thing of sulfuric acid in the woods. Sulfuric acid. Yo, please stop, bro, please. Bro.
He would have kept turning the release valve had they both not shouted at him to stop. I don't know if it was full, but if so, he would have been in deep trouble and might not have survived an acid spray. In the shed, they find a gas mask and large science beakers used to hold chemicals. One of the vials is still full, so they take it outside for a better look until their friend grabs it from them.
Boom!
Luckily for them, it doesn't break. Breathing in any unknown chemical, whether indoors or outdoors, could end up with them on the floor. Inside of an abandoned building, they find a label that got me curious. I googled what polyseed inoculum is, and the answer sheds light on what this facility really is. Basically, this is used to break down biological waste. They've been playing around in a biological waste treatment center the whole time, touching things that ordinarily require a full biohazard suit to handle. Whatever chemicals they were handling probably were not safe, and the air quality can't be much better. The type of place that could really mess you up after maybe a few visits. In other words, certainly not a place where you'd ever want to stick your face over an old chemical vat and take a big whiff. Asking you shall receive. Posted to the Paranormal Evidence subreddit. Paranormal Popcorn writes that his friend Jason sent him this scary video. The video shows a digital clock. It's 5:57. Jason says he was awoken by a loud noise, so he entered the living room and found an overhanging light fixture swinging wildly back and forth. He says they haven't had an earthquake as far as he knows. He explains that an old hutch in the room once showed reflections in the glass, whereas the door of the hutch was locked in place. It was found hanging open. He shows that a couple of other overhanging lights are not swinging, only this one by the hutch is. He explains that this happened once before, and so he believes he has an entity on his hands. He starts addressing his girlfriend's departed grandmother who owned the hutch. Her name was Manny. He asks the entity if she has a message for him or would like to communicate. He asks the entity to move something or make a noise to signal that she's there. Though out of frame, an old chair slides loudly on its own.
Please move something and let me know that you're here.
He asks again and the chair slides a second time.
Or give me a sign that it's you. That would mean a lot.
He checks beneath the table and nothing is there. While Jason certainly seems calm, though bewildered, he probably shouldn't be interacting with the spirit. As Redditor Christian Sands writes in the comments, if this is real, I would tell your friend to stop immediately asking the entity to move things. It's like an open invitation to a long-term relationship. Would you like a long-term relationship with this ghost? Yeah, me neither. If you're enjoying this compilation, please give it a like and subscribe to Chills Clips, new scary videos every single day. There's a scary cemetery in this Egyptian neighborhood that is said to be haunted only on the quietest of nights. Mustafa Nabil goes exploring the haunted place at an early hour with his friends. In front of the cemetery gate stands a tall and silent figure guarding the outside. They immediately cut the paranormal exploration short and just want to go home, but the mysterious figure is not going to let them off that easily. It seems like they are blocked at every turn. Something looks at them from around the corner and sends them running down random streets to get away. They are out of breath and about to slow down to regroup when they see the spirit has somehow teleported ahead of them and brought back up. They have to keep moving and stay out of sight. There are many winding alleyways to go through, but they feel constantly watched and far from safe as they are relentlessly followed down every path. At 8 minutes and 24 seconds, they think they are safe and finally slow down. None of them see a supernatural figure watching them from the shadows. The video ends, but it seems their paranormal plight is far from over. A piece of the graveyard has committed itself to following them home. It's not often you see two trains so close on the same track, occurring near Smith Falls in Ontario, Canada in 1992. The footage shows a passenger train that needed to hit the emergency brakes while en route to Toronto. The passenger train appears to be traveling at a fairly fast speed when a stationary freight train comes into view down the track. As the commuter has little time to slow, the engineer stumbles out of the locomotive cab. In the meantime, the freighter backs up slowly while the commuter train has managed to brake hard enough to come to a complete stop right in the nick of time. The approach left no more than 6 feet between the locomotives, a close call that makes little to no sense as to why or how it happened. Warning, if you buy this flat, you'll have an unwanted roommate. Published by Seeker of Ghosts. In April of 2022, the paranormal investigator is trying to communicate with the passed on through a spirit box when this happens.
Ого, какая-то рядом.
The spirit then sends him a clear message, but he doesn't listen.
Что?
So the poltergeist tries to warn him further. The lights continue to flicker as the spirit box goes haywire.
В тот момент мне стало очень страшно.
Then he asks what the spirit's name is to no avail. Rather than answer, the spirit gets angrier.
Охренеть.
He apparently doesn't like anyone prying into his personal life. He even comes to visit.
Ой, чтоб меня опять сейчас что-то не полетело.
Did this paranormal investigator overstay his welcome? It seems he was never welcome here at all. Well, driverless cars are a thing. I don't think this is one of them. Published in April of 2013, a mysterious vehicle is going berserk as it pulls up to the toll booth. The car's lights are flashing on and off as it drives forward. The toll booth operator holds out his hand, apparently not paying attention at first, but then he sees the most astonishing thing. There's no one in the driver's seat. The toll booth man stands up from his chair, leaning out toward the car in shock. You can see the steering wheel spin round, moving back and forth. There's no one in the seat, nor in the passenger seat, nor the back seat. The toll booth man exits his booth and stands in front of the vehicle looking in. That's when this creepy being climbs up the rear window. Dark hair, pale as a ghost, definite the Ring Girl vibes. The mysterious figure causes the toll booth man to fall on the ground in fear. He quickly rushes off screen, and that thing on the rear window keeps on climbing toward the roof before sinking again out of sight. Is this video real? If so, I don't think things ended well for this toll booth worker. In 2007, a YouTuber named Ben Ems uploaded this video made by his friend, Levi, who is reciting some lines for a play when something appears in the window.
I wish you were here.
The resolution is good for a YouTube video that's over 13 years old, so I don't think it's computer effects, but I do think it's planned. This is the reflection of someone who is probably standing behind the camera, not behind Levi. The upper corner gets brighter when they turn on the light to make the reflection appear in the window. So while this video is creepy, I doubt it's as real as Ben claims. A Swedish YouTuber named Headgear, aka Daniel Olsson, has a paranormal corner of their home that always seems to be shuffling objects around. All Daniel has to do is set up a camera and wait. So everything from a phone to a baby monitor is making small movements one after the other. Most of the objects are already halfway off camera though, so therefore moving them wouldn't be that hard to fake. If that blue box moved in the back, I would be more convinced. Also, the fact that nothing on the top shelf moves makes me all the more suspicious. But hey, I guess the poltergeist could have just been interested in the bottom row. I wish he got more of the bottom area to show he wasn't moving stuff around himself. But to be fair, I think Daniel was also trying to get the mirror in the shot. Based on this next video I'm about to show you, at 5 seconds something smacks his camera, yet we see nothing in the mirror. Then this strange shadow makes barely discernible movements in the upper corner of the room, hardly visible unless you know where to look, and even then still fairly difficult to see. A YouTuber named Batchain Puller says they were watching Game of Thrones when they noticed this little girl staring into their home with a blank expression. She does not seem to be trying to get anyone's attention and seems perfectly content with staring straight ahead into a stranger's home on Christmas, judging by the decorated tree. The YouTuber says that there is an explanation for this video, but doesn't go into any more detail. Maybe they will still remember what happened all these years later. A YouTuber named Texas Savage has traces of paranormal activity left outside her bedroom door, or so she claims. Look at this part and tell me if you can see what she means. And if you can't see it, it's much more apparent in this next video of hers that I'm about to show. You can see it a bit better here, as she points out the individual fingers and notices the lack of a thumb.
Here's one, and here's one. But there's no thumb.
In this next video taken on a different day, you can get a better look at the handprints and see how long the fingers really were, far too big to be on her own. And since she claims to live alone, it can't be anyone else unless someone has been going into her bedroom without her knowing. On this day, she also finds some fresh scratches not too far from where the handprint is, and while inspecting the rest of her house, she finds 2 new marks at the bottom of her bathroom door that are perfectly aligned, almost like eyes. If you don't think this is real, then what do you think caused this? Just like all of the other markings, she can recall nothing happening in this room to make them appear overnight. A family is watching television when a mysterious knocking sound pulls them away from their show and into a frightening situation. Listen to this part and tell me if you can hear it too. They sit up and hear 2 more knocks, much deeper than before. It almost sounds like 2 heavy footsteps coming from within the room. As he opens the door, but according to him, there was nothing to protect the home against. Absolutely no one was on the other side. One more observation, an orb happens to go by at the exact moment they hear the knocking sound, which I think could be a signal that someone's already found its way into their home. A YouTube channel called DIY.com decides to do some paranormal investigating at a haunted place in San Francisco called Stowe Lake. They're exploring for a while when this creepy statue comes at them from the darkness. Soon they notice that his camera seems to skip frames, or twitch as he calls it. Watch the frames skip whenever he passes over their faces.
Pastor! Well, you see how it twitches? Yeah. The camera? Did you see that? Can you guys do that again? See? It twitches.
I couldn't really see what they were talking about until they addressed one of the children directly. That's when you can see a major frame loss that's scary enough to make one of them run away screaming.
Little girl. Oh, you see that?
You can see it again in slow motion. Freaky, right? Originally posted to YouTube by Dark Pirate Stories in October of 2020. This haunting clip takes you on a walkthrough of the Church of Ghosts in the Czech Republic. The cathedral is full of faceless statues covered in stone cloaks, sitting in the pews. The image is unsettling, but it's meant to be. Lying east of Prague in a small town, this place has been around since the 14th century. When the roof collapsed in 1968, it went abandoned. Some said it was haunted. In a bid to restore it, local residents, Peter Kugel and art student Jacob Hadrava teamed up with the latter, creating this eerie installation to draw people and interest to the location. It worked. So far, they've been able to repair the roof, and this location continues to get big attention online. Some souls darken the doorways of haunted homes, others grow as bright as they lived. Published by Sajid Hussein in August of 2021, this Nest Cam caught an unusual anomaly on this dark street at night. The video shows a vibrant figure glowing in the yard opposite the camera. The bright figure appears to be moving. It radiates while still for a moment before moving in a flash to a position about a foot away. The light then dims before glowing brightly again. It then enters into the street, glowing and spreading like fire. Throughout this, at times it looks like one entity, and at other times two. At the end of the clip, the light subsides and disappears altogether. Where did the spirit go? Maybe this is the moment it crossed over. Something still haunts this tunnel, and Franco from the YouTube channel Franco TV is delving deep into the belly of the beast. He sees signs that he's not the first one here.
It won't be like this for too long. There's even a handprint up there. I have to find out what it's about in a minute. But it won't be like this for too long. I'm pretty sure it's gonna get quiet.
In the tunnel, he hears something off-putting.
You just heard something there. Hey, off guard.
He asks the spirits a question, and they answer via the K2 meter.
Si tú estás aquí conmigo, ¿tú puedes hacerlo otra vez? It's going. See?
When Franco turns off the lights, the spirits turn them on again.
I'm gonna go ahead and turn off all the lights. So it's gonna be really hard to see anything. Okay? Que voy a apagar todas las luces.
As Franco leaves the tunnel, he comes across a makeshift memorial, which seems to indicate that a number of people passed away in this very place.
It is actually ridiculously scary. Especially this part here. It looks like several people died over here.
Did Franco just communicate with one of them? I have no doubt, and hopefully that communication helped them reach the other side. What is lurking in the mountains of Montana? Published by Smokey Robinson in September of 2021. He and his army buddy were outside Browning, Montana when they encountered this piece of work. What begins as a man starts to appear demonic. At the start of the clip, the figure is roaring unintelligibly.
Hey, how you doing? Oh, just cruisers, man.
He appears to be shirtless and wearing jeans. The figure then starts crawling half deranged on the ground toward them. It crawls up a hill. The closer it gets, the more inhuman it looks. Just as the demon man reaches the road, the two men drive off in their pickup. Commenters are saying this is 100% demonic, and this creature gives them goosebumps. Some say the figure's face distorted and its appendages stretched as it started to crawl. Drex Ferguson writes, "This is the video I send people when they ask me to go camping, hiking, basically anything that involves woods." Some are calling it a zombie. Some are saying it's a human being taken over by something. What do you think it is?
What's up, dude?
Some visitors should definitely call ahead. Posted to the Ring subreddit by Ashlyn Bra. This resident had an unexpected visitor at her door around 6 p.m. on Vancouver Island. The Ring camera footage shows an enormous bear sniffing around the front porch of this resident's home. After bypassing the front door, the bear wanders to a side window, looking briefly up at it, as if considering entering this way.
For what?
The massive animal then makes its way around the side of the garage and out of sight. Many in the comments are saying pass to this one, while Redditor Bubba9999 is wondering why it has a collar on. Was it tagged for wildlife tracking purposes, or does this big bear have an owner? More importantly, is he going to make this a regular thing? You're bound to come across strange things in the middle of nowhere. Published in October of 2019, the cameraman sets out into the forest on the outskirts of the city of Perm, and what he finds is that it's occupied. He eventually arrives at this strange structure, plastic sheets topped by wooden planks. When he removes one of the sheets, you see that it leads into an underground hovel of some sort. Deeper into the forest, he encounters another strange structure. This one again is made up of plastic and tarps, but it's been built above ground between two trees. There's a pair of jeans hanging on a limb, a plastic bag hanging from another, and a whole pile of garbage scattered on the ground. He peers inside to find someone sleeping in the shelter. He hurries away but comes across one last structure in his journey. When he peeks in, you can tell that someone lives inside this one too, but there's no one home at this time. One side is covered in branches to camouflage the structure, while items are hung on a line to dry. Obviously, it looks like a small community of people live in this forest, and I'm not sure how friendly they're gonna be to this guy popping in to say hi. Submitted to the Chills Narrator subreddit by Ding Dong Dingle Dude. This Redditor wrote, "My friend and I saw this weird floating structure in the sky. Has anyone else seen something like this before?" Let's watch their submission and see what they're talking about.
What the Dude, that's just floating up there in this f***ing sky. What the f***? What the fuck? It f***ing flashed. Oh my, what? Dude, are you recording?
There was certainly some debate about this video in the comments. Mountain Aviator 1 wrote, "That is the mysterious radio tower. It's obstructed by clouds." Well, the Triple B thinks it's a weather balloon. What do you think this object is? Let me know in the comments. When police officers stopped to assist a car that had broken down on the side of Southeast Loop 820 in Forest Hill, Texas, they probably weren't thinking this was a super risky call, but they'd be wrong, as the 3 police officers and 2 motorists awaited a tow truck, lights flashing, a vehicle sped at top speed towards them, completely out of control, and they nearly didn't notice until it was too late. You can see in the video that the group is oblivious to what is about to happen until one officer spots the vehicle flying in their direction, just in time to throw the group out of harm's way. The car sideswiped one police car, slammed head-on into another, and barely avoided the broken down vehicle and all the people milling around on the shoulder. After plowing through, the rogue vehicle ricocheted back into traffic, but then returned to the roadside, where it screeched to a halt. When the car stopped, police hurried to remove the driver. Unsurprisingly, 26-year-old motorist Cedric Keith Henson Jr. had been drinking and was detained at the scene. Although no one was hurt, they very well could have been. Redditor asserted skirted motion-activated cameras detected motion in the middle of the night, but it isn't something I've ever seen before. Keep an eye on the bottom of the garage door. Here it is again, more slowly. Something appears to slip beneath the garage door, but it looks like a shadow. My guess would be that this is an unknown shadow entity. The way the shadow reaches out is even tentacle-like. What do you think it is? Can you imagine being a medical agent right now, forced to enter a lockdown territory? That's what this video apparently portrays. Posted by Spicy Rice Photography to the Scary subreddit. The video shows the agent entering a dark and deserted apartment block. His walkie-talkie apparently has gone dark on his end. You can hear other agents, but he doesn't speak into it.
Jerry, it seems our comms are broken. I can't hear a word they're saying.
He opens the door to an empty bathroom. Nothing untoward there. Next, he opens the door to an empty room. All that's inside is what appears to be a square red mat on the floor. A light source spotlights the mat. As the agent continues to breathe laboriously in the darkness, correspondents are regularly heard on the walkie-talkies. Suddenly, the agent starts to panic even more.
Jerry, your heart rate is spiking again. Is there any way to let you know if you're okay? I'm not checking.
His legs start moving and kicking, and in the darkness you can see why. The creepy figure of a girl with long black hair dressed in white is creeping toward him. As the agent tries desperately to move away, the girl only continues to slowly approach. The camera falls, white screening for a moment, only to capture one last shot of the girl in white, completely on top of him. While the agent may have been searching for survivors in the darkness, he probably regrets finding this one. Listed as creepypasta, this is still super creepy. What if you walked into a grocery store and the man across the aisle did this? Published to the Chills Narrator subreddit by Calligram, this video will make you cringe and then maybe throw up a little in your mouth. This is not an illusion. The man in this video, Alexander, is a Russian gymnast who can turn his head 180 degrees. During gymnastics, he discovered that his body was incredibly flexible, particularly his vertebrae. He wanted to test how far this flexibility could go, so he decided to push himself. Alexander explains, I worked on this step by step, going a little further each time, and one day I was able to turn my head all the way around. When I do, it takes energy from my whole body. The complete 180 is like a horror movie. It only took some practice for the gymnast to twist his head around like an owl, but that's not true for just anyone. Alexander's doctor suggests the next swiveling ability is not an act that you can train for. He thinks the trait is congenital. The doctor recommends not to try this at home. For Alexander, though the party trick takes complete concentration to pull off, the act fills his body with a strange energy, and he doesn't feel like himself in the moment. Still, he calls it absolutely normal, and says the twisty neck doesn't hurt one bit. Funny, it hurts me just to see it. Next time you're confronted by voices in a haunted house, you should probably just skip town. Redditor Alex_paranormal TV posted the scary paranormal investigation to the Chills Narrator subreddit. It was originally posted on YouTube in February of 2020. The house being explored is a Cole Harbour house in London. As Alex Paranormal explains, we investigate the Cold Harbor house that no one wants to live in because of the extreme activity and what resides inside the Shadow Man.
Oh, there's been a there, isn't it? Yeah. Oh, there's been a fire on there, isn't it? Yeah.
The exploration turns up loads of paranormal activity. At 8:53 in the video, Alex mumbles something as they're exploring, to which a disembodied voice answers, yeah. A little later, after setting up the spirit box, it either moves or falls over on its own at 16 minutes 7 seconds.
Whoa, it's 23 stuff, mate. Did you just look that?
Oh, mate.
Just help the light done with that. Who are you?
A short time after, at 16 minutes 55 seconds, an evil laugh occurs as the team attempts to speak with the spirits.
Is this your room?
Where are you?
The laughter occurs again at around 22 minutes 9 seconds. And at 22 minutes 49 seconds, a grunt can be heard.
You just grunt then. Who was that? Was that you?
As they're talking about the grunt, a very audible knock sounds on the adjacent door at 23 minutes 35 seconds. They continue to explore the haunted house. While they're in a hallway, about to enter another room, a door slams at 26 minutes 55 seconds.
Oh, that's about. Is that you?
No.
Continuing in their exploration after a while, they discover an old Tonka truck in a room. When one guy asks if that's an old Tonka toy, a disembodied voice at 31 minutes 52 seconds answers yeah.
Look at that. That's an old Tonka toy, isn't it?
What is?
A number of other disembodied voices are noted throughout the video, as if the house was whispering a secret to them, if only they'd just listen. What was it trying to tell them, and what would you do in a house that talks to you? I'd just move out. Jim Lin is visiting Harbin, Japan, and now faces bowl after bowl of gourmet insects. The pressure is on to sample the culture by eating as many different dishes as he can. At 4 minutes and 1 second, the juices of a plump cicada hits the back of his throat with a loud squirt. The insides look wet and green, and not like something I would look forward to trying. How would you even tell if this was cooked right? But there's still more bugs to eat. This oversized grasshopper looks more like a crayfish. They are in a busy market with music and people having conversations everywhere, and yet the crunch is louder than anything else going on. When in Rome, do as the Romans do is an age-old expression that means you should follow the rules of other cultures in their country. But I don't think everyone could handle this bug buffet. It may just make your jaw drop. A beautiful home built in 1934 turned ugly when in 2009, the real estate mogul who bought the home took his wife's life, claiming the woman went missing on a hike. A search began for his wife but turned up nothing. A year later, the man put a new addition on his home that raised enough suspicion for police to request a search warrant. They found the wife buried beneath the home. The man was given more than 20 years behind bars, and the house remains abandoned. Published by Dark Exploration Films, this walkthrough of the home is incredibly disturbing. Taking viewers through the grounds and inside the home, the explorer comes upon the hole in which the woman was buried.
Let's go into the room that everybody wants to see. So this room was added in 2009. And once the police found out about this construction, they were a little skeptical.
Many in the comments are bewildered that anyone could live in the home they buried their wife in without getting telltale-hearted to the point of insanity. Others feel a sense of darkness and foreboding and even a feeling of sadness there. Surely the woman's spirit remains. I have Al Qasimia of a ghost hunting channel called The Horror is looking for a phantom figure said to haunt this building in Israel. A ghost who is apparently quite eager to be caught on camera.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم أعوذ بكلمات الله التامات.
He keeps hearing a sink drip even though no water is coming from the faucet because no water runs to the building.
في السماء بسم الله. بسم الله.
The ghost hunter also detects small movements in windowless rooms that are devoid of all life.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم أعوذ بكلمات الله التامات.
That's when something inside of him says that trouble is near, that he needs to check out the window.
You see anything?
A mysterious and shadowy figure is caught on camera, an apparition capable of powerful acts. Based on what happens next, the ghost hunter knows he's been marked by the jinn, but there is no time to get out of the way as the spirit seemingly teleports inside.
بالله.
بسم الله بسم الله بسم الله بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم أعوذ بكلمات.
The featureless shadow figure peers around the corner and the brave ghost hunter gives chase. When he rounds the corner, all traces of the paranormal entity are gone. If this is not paranormal, then I wonder how the ghost was able to disappear within seconds. There are no editing cuts that I can see. The CCTV was taken at an office building at around 2:30 in the morning. It was noticed immediately by security because the camera only turns on when something moves. A shadowy mass starts at floor level, stops for a second, and then quickly scales up the wall, possibly continuing on to move through the ceiling itself, all while leaving no visible form of entry or making a sound. I don't know what object would have made this strange oval shadow take shape, and neither do the security guards. I think there's a strong chance that this is paranormal, but if not, leave me your best guess as to what this possibly could have been. A YouTuber named Tracy is recording a video at the Hedingham Castle in England while on vacation with her husband. The voices and footsteps of other visitors easily carry throughout the castle, but it's just good acoustics, and they are not nearly as close as they sound. Anyway, look what happens while Tracy is standing motionless next to her husband in a large room all by themselves.
Sure, Buffy, I just saw a shadow across the wall.
A shadow clearly passes across the wall in front of them, but as Tracy pans the room, You can see that no one else is present. None of the windows or entrances completely line up, yet the shadow looks very human in nature and appears to be coming from directly behind them. It's 3 in the morning when Daniel, Christensen's dog, begins growling and the bedroom door swings open. Daniel is staring into the dark hallway while recording with his camera, waiting for something to happen.
What a trip.
Here you can see what could be the head, shoulders, and left arm of a shadow person. It's towards the corner of the room on the right hand side. Let me know if you see it. Then the shadow appears again, much closer this time. It's way too dark though, so I can't tell for sure if it's a shadow or just his thumb. The Drakelow tunnels in the United Kingdom was a classified nuclear bunker that mysteriously closed down from 1993. Almost no records of this place exist, but 3 men were once buried alive in a tunnel collapse. Shadow people are said to have been seen here ever since, and the Ouija brothers do capture some strange activity on camera, like this pitch black anomaly at 8 minutes and 45 seconds for example. Is this a black spirit orb or just a wall stain?
Walk towards my voice.
And a minute earlier, they catch this passing white apparition against the wall.
Could you make yourself known?
The timing of the appearance in relation to the question is quite abnormal, but is it paranormal? I think so. A reminder that you never know what or who is behind you. This short clip will have you looking over your shoulder. The video shows a man entering a small elevator. A ghostly woman enters slightly behind him. You can see her in the mirror, distracted on his phone. The man doesn't seem to notice he has company, but when he turns around, the woman has vanished. He is alone in the lift, or at least appears to be. Those in the comments are dying to know where the phantom stalker went, and whether or not this man made it out of the elevator. I hope he's alright, but it's really not looking like that's the case. We may have just discovered the soundtrack to your nightmares. Published to YouTube by Column A in June of 2019. This clip shows a young man in a prison cell, no context given. He speaks to the camera and, in the midst of his monologue, he gives a strange, otherworldly shriek like a velociraptor. Why? Well, YouTubers have a wealth of hypotheses. For example, Lord Woody thinks that the man is sucking the soul out of the cameraman. I just know if I were in this situation, I'd be getting the heck out of there. If you hear this sound, run for cover. Rays of light shine upward in this video, published to Paranormal World in December of 2020. But that's not the only oddity in this clip. Turn the sound on full volume and you'll be blasted into the midst of a prehistoric jungle. The light then turns into what looks to be a winged figure, and the sound becomes more symphonic. The creature forms a sphere before its wings reappear, perhaps preparing for takeoff. The man filming takes this as his cue to leave, but judging with a creature like this, he can run but he can't hide. Exploring an abandoned, secret nuclear bunker designed for NATO headquarters? What could go wrong? That's what the crew from YouTube channel Broken Window Theory did in November of 2020. The team explains a bit about the video, writing, "In the belly of a mountain, we found this secret NATO bunker. At an undisclosed location, hard to find, and even harder to enter. Naturally, the team considers it the ideal place to get trapped, as they dive right into the belly of the beast. The bunker is located in southern Italy. They arrive at the entrance, an unobtrusive cement block which they pull up to reveal the tunnel that they climb down into. The secret bunker was dug right into the side of the mountain and stretches several kilometers. As they walk deeper and deeper into the mountain, it gets colder by the minute. 200 or 300 people were stationed here in the darkness when it was active. Now, only moldy furniture and rusted pipes remain. They arrive at the fallout door, which looks creepy and foreboding in and of itself. Later, they come across a control room, as well as lists of aircraft and maps still pinned to the walls. When they come to the water reservoir, they toss a few rocks in to test the echo, which seems never ending. The echo sounds even more ominous a few moments later, almost like someone singing. After exploring a bit further, they finally climb out of the bunker and back into the 21st century. Although this bunker is a pretty epic urban exploration, it's lucky it was never made necessary. Otherwise, the 21st century may not exist. Is Lainey and Ben's poltergeist getting stronger? Watch this video and judge for yourself. As usual, the poltergeist seems to be most active in the kitchen.
Activity is more and more aggressive.
He has even resorted to ruining their dinner.
Poltergeists just seem to be so frustrated.
Oh, black them.
And he isn't finished. It goes without saying that Lainey and Ben share space with one of the most active poltergeists on YouTube. I don't know if Dave and Andy are becoming more aggressive due to anger, or if their YouTube following is cheering them on. Remember that guy who was caught on a Ring doorbell video licking someone's doorbell? Well, we've just found his soulmate. Posted in December of 2017, the footage shows a young blonde woman approach the doorbell. At first, it appears as if it was provoked by a dare. The woman walks up to the doorbell, holds up her hands strangely, as though she knows she's on candid camera, and then looks over to her right, as if looking at someone out of frame. But then she walks back, just standing awkwardly, looking around at random, before approaching the door again. Is she waiting for someone to answer? Maybe, but what she does while waiting is not normal. The woman opens her mouth wide, moving closer to the camera, and you can actually hear her bite. She then backs away again, as though nothing happened, appears to be waiting for a moment, then starts to do this. Well, it's all well and good to get your daily exercise in. Doing that on someone's doorstep late at night after biting their security camera seems a little out of it, don't you agree? Most of the time, security cameras capture hours and hours of useless footage. Sometimes, however, they capture something like this. Published in September of 2013, YouTuber Rainy Schooler writes, "A woman walks out of the darkness on a cold and wet night in the mountains far from a busy road and no immediate neighbors. The security camera is aimed into the wilderness and you can see a tree to the right side of the screen but nothing else. That is until, right in the middle of the shot, the figure appears, walks and stops and turns awkwardly. Not turning with her feet, but just twisting with her upper body. Then she walks forward again before taking a sharp right turn and veering out of sight. The video moves forward about 45 seconds until the woman is seen winding around the tree and then is spotted back in the middle again, looking off into the wilderness, moving in the same strange start-stop fashion that she was doing before. A different security camera captures the woman walking up towards the house. Out of sight, it's not clear what she did alongside of the home, but she is soon seen again walking haphazardly away and around the same area near the tree in the back. She did this for 10 minutes, the video notes. Many in the comments think this woman must have been on something, but in the middle of nowhere. What do you think? I'm just glad they had security cameras so the homeowners were aware of her activities. Have you ever wondered if a ghost might appear in your next selfie? Well, this video is evidence that they're all around us at all times. The girl in the video is using a Snapchat filter, which appears to be capturing a nearby ghost. At least the filter is putting dog ears on a face that doesn't exist. The girl asks the ghost to stick its tongue out for her when she realizes there may be two spirits there as two dog filters appear in the empty space.
You want to stick your tongue out for me? Because this is pretty... Whoa. Whoa, there's two of them.
Throughout the video, one of the dog filters disappears only to reappear in a different place. The girl tells the spirits they are welcome there and just to clean up after themselves. Then the bigger ghost moves closer. She asks if it's going to stick its tongue out at her, only to have the dog disappear again. And then...
Are you just going to, no? Okay. Are you gone? Are you gonna come back?
That was a jump scare if I've ever saw one. Are these friendly ghosts or villainous pranksters? Your guess is as good as mine. All I can say for sure is that something suspicious is happening here. Nothing like an old village to cruise for some ghosts. Published in September of 2015, this footage purportedly shows a ghost near some old village homes. It's unclear where this video was shot, so it could be any old village anywhere in the world. Let's explore it. The clip takes in the surrounding area of these homes. Nothing appears out of place, although the homes seem to be abandoned. The camera follows some birds on a roof before panning down to capture some ants on the ground. The shot pulls up from the grass and mud and pans around the area. That's when you see it. Too quick to make out any details. An apparition in all black appears on screen for a brief moment, standing off in the distance on some pavement. The figure is still as the shot moves around. What is this? Do you think it's a ghost too? That's at least what the uploader claims. Many have debated whether it is or not, and with no other footage, it will most likely remain a mystery for the foreseeable future. This thermal camera captured a baby's cry, living people, and not so living people. First, the baby is heard. Next, a not so living person is seen on camera. And again here. Apparently, this is the background without the thermal camera on. And then lastly, a female EVP is heard. What does she know? My guess, I think she knows who the not-so-living person is, lurking around the room. A large white creature has been constantly creeping around the yard of a YouTuber named Sans for a long time now, and no one knows what it is. The latest sighting happens during broad daylight, and his camera is able to pick up more detail than ever before. You can see here that the creature is not very big, roughly around the same size of a nearby dog, and judging from this dog's behavior, I'd say this is clearly a real creature and not one of his friends wearing a costume. If you need more proof that this isn't a person, watch how it scratches its head with its foot at a weird angle. No human would be able to kick that fast. I would say that this is a rabbit, but I don't really see any ears and the legs look distinctly human when it walks. Tell me what animal you think this is. Until I get a better explanation, I will continue thinking that this is probably a humanoid of some kind. This video was taken one summer on Vancouver Island in Canada. A YouTuber named Mushmasta is on a hike when he sees a huge humanoid creature that he still can't explain to this day over 10 years later. According to Mushmaster, the creature was 7 feet tall and stood on its hind legs to stare at him, but by the time he started recording, it was already hunched over and taking off.
Wait, stay! Stay back!
At first, I thought it was a bear, but look closer and you can almost make out the upper body of a human, especially the shoulders. It looks far more human than a bear, judging from the way it walks away. In the end, the creature chooses to leave Mushmaster alone in the woods, wondering what he had just encountered. Let me know what you think it was based on the brief video that I've shown you. No one has been able to solve this in over a decade. What goes up must come down. Posted by V. Fieldson on TikTok, as Fieldson walks beside a house, capturing a bicycle lying in the middle of the sidewalk. He pulls the shot upright, catching the roof of the house in frame. Someone is up there watching him. The watcher appears to be filming him too. At least he seems to be holding something with a light on. He rushes from view, and darkness envelopes him. Of course, this is TikTok, so that's where the clip ends. However, as we know, what goes up must come down. After all, he's gotta come down from that rooftop eventually. You gotta pay the troll toll. Posted to the Chills Narrator subreddit. The Redditor is wondering what's watching her son and nephew from under this bridge. She explains that the pair were night fishing. When her son told the person, animal, or monster to show itself, there was no reaction. The thing they capture from beneath the bridge appears to be peeking out from behind the wall. Some say it looks human, others think it's more demonic. But Redditor user unknown writes, what many are thinking, I wouldn't stick around to find out. Neither would they apparently, because according to the Redditor, the pair fled, but behind him they heard clicking noises and something bashing through the trees, perhaps a troll after his hard-earned cash. If you saw someone in a window just standing and staring, what would you think? Would you consider it abnormal? Would you be concerned about their mental state? These Lithuanians saw this strange staring man as cause for concern when they posted this video to their YouTube channel. Reposted to the Chills Narrator subreddit. By Martillo, the Redditor writes, couple of Lithuanian YouTubers are driving with other couple friends around the city and they come across this strange guy in his apartment. They're saying that he maybe is possessed. The windows in the building across from the Lithuanian's car are all darkened. Apart from one brightly lit window on the second floor, there stands a man appearing to stare out into the night, oddly still. Upon closer inspection, the man looks like he's rolling his head around before turning to the side and staring off again. He stares forward for a time, this having gone on for a solid minute, before turning around and switching off the light in his apartment, likely because he notices the men outside are shining their light up at his window, watching him. Martillo notes that although the men in the video are laughing, the image of someone staring out their window blankly is somewhat scary. He says the behavior is strange. Well, that may be so. You could argue the same for the behavior of the occupants of this car. This was submitted to the Chills Narrator subreddit by Skateboard Chris. The Redditor wrote, I accidentally deleted the raw video and not the TikTok that automatically saved, but this is the second time I've caught a light switch turning off and on by itself. My dog reacts too, and when the video zooms in, it does appear that the light switches turn on and off of their own accord. Hawaii Sunburnt 20 commented, I would be taking apart that light switch. Would you be curious enough to do the same? I'd be getting far away from this haunted house. The YouTube team Greg and Heather's exploration know what fear is. They found it in the woods. As Heather is sitting near a campfire, she hears something unsettling nearby.
What the heck? What was that noise?
She goes to investigate.
Hello? Where is that coming from?
Nobody answers, so she continues on. As she hears the sound again, she finally encounters its maker.
There it goes again. Oh my. Hello?
What is this creature?
What are you doing out here? Oh my.
Whatever it is, it's soon coming for her. Will she escape him?
Where'd you go?
It's almost creepier when he disappears, while the YouTuber explains in the description that this video is, in fact, fiction. The horror is real, and I think their monster is particularly chilling. YouTuber Hey Charmaine began posting about her experiences in her home. As her story unfolds, so does a terrifying truth shared by YouTube channel The Gravedigger. This scary video shows how Charmaine's horror story escalated. It all started with this strange object she found.
I got a pack of Pepperdine like 10 years ago, but it's modeled after the Bodhidharma, and I don't usually take it out.
After setting up security cameras in her room, she captured things moving unexpectedly. A few days later, while the dog was sitting for her friend, this happens.
Why are you whining, baby? Cooper, what are you staring at? There's nothing in the hallway.
Later, she captured a figure watching her home in the darkness of night, and then heard something inside.
What is he doing?
After deciding to go stay at her parents' house for a while, things escalated. Watch the doorway behind Charmaine.
You've been really nice not to let me stay there, and
What was that thing?
oh my god.
I'm not sure what this figure is, but it seems to be related to the mysterious object that Charmaine found. With all these strange events unfolding, Charmaine has lasted a lot longer here than I would have. Have you ever received a call from the beyond? TikToker Epic Paranormal posted this video explaining that their mom received a phone call from her uncle. The only problem is, he's passed away. I don't know about you, but that entire clip gave me chills. Many in the comments have similar stories, having received calls from their departed loved ones. Others have a feeling of dread after watching this clip. I can't blame them. If I got a voicemail like this, I would be terrified. This poltergeist is about to throw down. Redditor What I Imagine shares this video of a very aggressive ghost. Due to the poltergeist's aggression, I'm convinced that this isn't staged. How can anything but the paranormal act unseen with such aggression? Many in the comments think this video was staged with fishing line. I don't know though. It looks pretty compelling to me. Warning, if you summon La Llorona, prepare for the worst. While investigating the Hinsdale house, YouTuber Mo Sargi summoned the Weeping Woman, and he lived to regret it. While speaking through a spirit box, he received some answers.
Was there actually an exorcism here?
Oh my, that was a yes.
And like an evil. Like it was mad.
But the interview is cut short.
Was it a priest?
Behind you, behind you! What, behind you? Something just appeared behind you. Something just appeared behind you.
What?
Like a mist, like a white mist. Holy f***.
I don't blame him. I'd be done too if I'd just seen La Llorona in the flesh. A ghost was seen in Benares, India, walking across rooftops. The sighting scared many locals and led to a police investigation. Twitter user Benaresians tweeted this video of the incident. Did you see the figure? Take a closer look. So far, the police haven't discovered what the figure was or who was behind it. Maybe that's because it's absolutely real. What do you think? I'm on the fence with this one. This miniature forest figure has viewers puzzled. Posted on TikTok by Satpam Horror, a small Barbie-sized creature was captured walking at the edge of the forest. Watch closely.
Ada tuyul, Pak. Gila.
The figure looks just like a human in miniature. What is it though? I'm not sure what this humanoid creature could be, but its movements do not look animated, and it seems to blend well with the setting. Any ideas? Leave them in the comments. While investigating this demon house, YouTube team KBC Cazadores de Fantasmas encounters a real-life demon. In the wilderness, they start to get a wild EMF reading.
Ook dus hoor.
Then they break out a thermal camera and capture this.
Grace. Grace, cuidado, Grace. Oh? De montanguitos estão mais em todo.
And they later captured the devil in their spirit box session.
O diabo. Fala certo, mano. Pedro, fica esperto, Pedro.
They also take a photo in which something spooky is captured. These are just the grounds of the demon house. I feel that there's definitely something haunting this property, but we'll have to tune into the final episode of the series to find out. Once done a harmless face swap, but what happens when the swap becomes scary? Posted by Primal Chaos and later submitted to the Chills Narrator subreddit. This face swap between friends took a dark turn when one of the friends left the frame, only to allow a terrifying invisible being to swap faces with the remaining friends. The scary swapped face looks demon-like, causing the dude whose face it swapped to turn around and look for the paranormal being he's been partnered with. Many in the comments of this video find this unpleasant and unexpected swap upsetting. If this happened in a dream, what might it mean? Perhaps that your dream has taken a step in another direction. That's of a nightmare. A YouTuber named This Is Dan Bell has made a name for himself by exploring some of the creepiest abandoned places on Earth. This time he is seeing what he can find at an abandoned house outside of Baltimore City, the former home of the notorious Stephen Craig Johnson to be exact. In 1983, Stephen Craig Johnson brutally ended the life of his child in a fit of delusional rage. The case grew famous all up and down the entire East Coast. and it doesn't look like anyone has lived in the house ever since. As Dan Bell travels deeper inside, you can feel the sadness and despair clinging to every room. Amidst the discarded debris and wreckage, Dan Bell finds a weird handwritten letter in the closet with illustrations of a woman on the front and back. There's a brief paragraph talking about how evil the house is and what can be done to stop it. Some of the handwriting is kind of hard to read, so if anyone wants to type this letter out, I would appreciate it. Two things seem kind of sketchy about this letter to me though. First of all, the ink does not look faded enough to be something from the 80s, and the paper does not seem very aged either. I don't think it was penned by anyone in the Johnson family, so maybe someone else snuck inside and placed it here in recent years. Dan Bell is understandably nervous at this point, but he has come this far and there's still an entire second floor left to explore. He eventually finds himself in a stale attic covered with scattered documents and heaps of trash. He's just about to leave when he makes eye contact with something that has been watching him all along. A vulture, the devourer of fallen animals, silently regards him from the floor. Its gaze is calm and expectant, almost prideful in a way. If this really is a wild animal and not staged, then it is almost certainly a bad omen for sure. Bayros H is certain that his house is haunted and claims this video is proof. For some reason, his little dog TJ is always growling at the corner of his bedroom. Bayros shows that there is nothing of interest in the corner besides some old suitcases. Yet TJ refuses to give up. Eventually, TJ tracks something leaving the room that is undetectable to the human eye. Exactly what this dog was seeing is anyone's guess, but I think it was most likely a spiritual presence of some kind. Perhaps some kind of intense event once took place here and left a paranormal energy behind. When two strangers pull up to your boat on the Nile, you have to assume the worst. This area is known for pirates. They cast a line and tie themselves to the ship in preparation to board.
Oh dear lord.
The one in white reaches down and then back turned, stands up while holding something.
Alright guys, look for art. Does anyone see an G in there?
He reaches back into his pocket and pulls out nothing but towels. As it turns out, this area is full of traveling salesmen too, even at sea. Still, I think they probably should have ran for help as soon as they thought these could be pirates, instead of recording in plain sight and making themselves an easy target. A person with an interest in graveyards is casually filming when they accidentally pick up a bizarre and possibly dangerous watcher. You can see a blurry shadow as it takes a few steps out from the other side of a wall, but the person recording doesn't seem to notice. It wasn't until much later that they reviewed the video and found the hidden lurker in the distance. I personally think that this could be CGI because the resolution of the video seems to have been lowered, which is always a sign of amateur effects. Then again, the person recording may have been using a cheap camera. Or maybe this is an older video. Two friends look out the window and see a mysterious figure dressed in all white, roaming the graveyard without shoes. She has her head down and pays absolutely no attention to them, even as they call out to her.
Hey, what you doing, girl?
Yo, that is creepy as...
What the
What happened?
What the is she doing?
Why is she touching other people's graves?
Finally, she starts to walk towards them, and they quiet down. One of the friends quickly points out that now she knows where they live. He screams out the window that she's scaring him, and she walks away, still completely lost in her own world. Here's where things get even more weird. She heads to the back of the graveyard, spins around a few times, and then disappears behind a tall gravestone.
I'm holding this camera until she come out from behind that tombstone.
Yo, she's not coming back.
She's gone. Where the did she go? We watched her walk behind the tombstone and she's gone.
They think that she has vanished, but I think she could have just been sitting down on the other side. The two friends say that they kept filming for a long time and never saw her again, so maybe she really did disappear. Still, it's hard to tell if this was a genuine spirit or just someone with a morbid attraction to graveyards. This Ukrainian dashcam captures one of the highest resolution highway ghost encounters I have ever seen. Watch this part and tell me what is being said here if possible. I would really like to have a legitimate translation of this potentially supernatural message. The driver speeds off after she falls back and disappears, and does not stop until they are back to civilization. This professional quality of this video makes me wonder if this is from a European movie or television show. If not, it almost looks like a well-constructed hologram. I could find no other source for this video, so be sure to let me know if this is amateur footage or something from mainstream media. This door sounds like a witch, and I'm not even exaggerating. Would you be able to live in a house that made this noise? People in the comments are saying it's possessed or cursed. I'm not going that far, but I'm just saying that if any part of my house even sounds remotely like this, I'm moving far away. A man claims that he keeps experiencing paranormal activity in his dining room and nowhere else. He feels unsafe and decides to leave a camera running in the dining room to see what goes on when he's not around. Nothing happens for a while, but then something comes along in the window that looks questionable. This is the zoomed in version. A tiny face appears to peek out at them from the glass panel on the bottom right before darting out of sight. You can't really make out any of its features, but notice how some orbs float by shortly before this happens. It's hard to tell if it's a paranormal creature or just a small animal, but I wouldn't want to be left alone in the house to find out. This farmhouse has a paranormal feeling. Published by Ouija Brothers. The brothers are filming when one feels the hanging wallpaper move a little bit.
Just kind of moved in the LP.
Did you touch it?
I didn't touch it. I didn't move. I was this close away.
I did feel some cold coming though.
Not long after, a strange noise is heard. A second clip taken by the cameraman captures the sound again from a different angle. It clearly wasn't him making the sound.
Okay. That? Is that you?
I think it's the floor.
I was like someone got a marble and rolled it.
Okay. That? Is that you?
I think it's the floor.
Later, they hear a knock and then a creepy voice. They find a cat in the house and then again outside. While the cat is cute and all, the house holds other creatures as well. These ones, not so cute. The enormous spider starts moving, and the brothers quickly wrap things up. While spirits are one thing, spiders are just a bit too much. Some friends practice soccer and talk about life when they cross paths with something that will change all of theirs forever. Caught on camera is what they claim to be a strange goblin creature clambering across the kitchen floor. Only one of them looks directly at it and he drops to the ground and covers his eyes like they burn. The creature, which barely comes up to waist level, runs out from behind this area behind the refrigerator. They lose sight of the goblin in a dark room, and the encounter is over, at least for now. Walking home in the dark is never a treat. It's even worse if you cross paths with something like this. Posted to YouTube in February of 2018 by Rohit Mukherjee. This ghost sighting was caught on camera in India. The YouTuber writes that one of his uncle's friends captured the creature on camera while returning home late from work with a friend. He writes, as he was coming down the road, he heard some noises, mostly shrieks, and he thought it might be an animal or something. As he was looking around, he saw something on the trees and pointed his mobile camera towards it, and then he saw this mysterious creature. The footage does show a figure in the trees. It looks like a human outline. At first, you assume it's just some oddity in the shadows, but then it moves. After seeing this creature, the men say, "Bug, bug," which means run, run. They then raced home and sent the video to Rohit's uncle. What do you think this figure could be? A ghost, an evil shadow, or some other strange entity? Or maybe it's just a monkey? If you ever question the paranormal, maybe test your skepticism with this video. This footage was captured in the Czech Republic and posted in January of 2012. The uploader writes, "This footage will prove once and for all ghosts exist." The clip shows a snowy road in the darkness of night. A car is stalled in the road as blizzard-like conditions swirl all around. Then in front of it, a semi-transparent figure appears. There is a glow at the top of what would be its head, like a flame. It stops in the middle of the camera's purview before disappearing again. Some of the comments note that the thing, whatever it is moving in the opposite direction as the wind and the snow. Commenter Denise M. Sanders suggests it was a person who was hit while crossing the road and passed away on the scene. Many agree that this looks like legit paranormal activity. What do you think? If you're going to poke fun at the afterlife, you'd better be willing to cross over yourself. Published in September of 2021, these paranormal investigators dive into the mystical Black Forest, a mysterious place in which the occult and other cryptic happenings occur. Here's what they found. The men immediately try to pester the spirits, preparing a ritual in which incense is burning upside down. This, they say, is intended to insult the spirit, and this spirit apparently doesn't take to the insult kindly. As the group sits and waits, watching the incense burn, while a candle glows beside it, suddenly the plastic bottle the incense was placed in bursts. It flies off the altar, knocking the candlelight out as well. The pair wonder if something flew into it, although it looks more like something burst out of it. What do you think happened here? Does this spirit have a really short fuse? A paranormal crew communicated with numerous unearthly entities in this haunted place. Published by Paranormal Voyages in January of 2022, the crew first records a disembodied voice that they don't seem to hear in the moment.
Yeah.
A moment later, while they're communicating through the spirit box, something appears over one of their shoulders. They then hear what sounds like a scream.
Yes, a scream.
Oh, that was disembodied.
That sounded like it was disembodied to me.
It's a scream.
The spirits tell one of the crew to move forward.
Something's telling me for you to move forward a little more.
What? What the heck is that? Hear that?
Whoa. Oh.
I want to move forward.
Later, while using a Kinect, an anomaly is detected. After being bombarded with questions, the spirits have a question for the crew.
But why? Oh! No. Oh my, you hear that whisper? But why? But why? They asked for a baby. Yeah. And we said no, and it goes, but why?
While they continue to communicate, one of the crew feels a sharp pain in his heart.
What? Jeez.
My heart just started hurting.
You alright?
Yeah, I think that was like a sharp pain.
Back with the Kinect, another anomaly makes its presence known. What do all these spirits want with the living? Maybe if we listen closely, we'll hear it. When demons speak, you listen. Posted to the Chills Narrator subreddit by Regal. The Redditor explains that he and some friends listened back to the voice recording of an EVP when they heard this demon or spirit, which sounds like it's speaking directly into the recorder. In the recording, you can hear the group asking the spirit if he can let them know he is present.
Just let me know you are here. It's a roach party over here.
After asking this question a couple times, a clear voice is heard, and he wants one thing from the living. He wants them to get out. In the Reddit thread, Regal explains that a neighbor from his apartment complex in Reno, Nevada, told him that he'd seen a tall shadow man in the mirror, leering behind him. Then they experienced some poltergeist activity as a protein container threw itself across the room at them when they entered the neighbor's house. He suspected the demon also possessed his neighbor, as the man kept blacking out, only to awake standing in the corner of the room. The neighbor also suffered from unexplained scratches on occasion. Redditor Jazzed Out writes, "That sounds like a malevolent spirit to me, and not a demon. And to add to this, demons are easier to identify when and if they speak, because they will be speaking in a language called Aramaic, which is more difficult to understand. Demon or malevolent spirit, to be honest, don't know which is worse." When a poltergeist displays his candor over a period of several days, you gotta see it for what it is, a permanent unwanted house guest. Published to YouTube in October of 2019, this video shows a series of poltergeist activities occurring in this couple's kitchen. On day 4, the salt and pepper shakers sitting on the kitchen countertop start to move slightly, then the salt falls over altogether. On day 8, the couple is in the kitchen. The woman is cooking something and sets the hand blender on the counter. It's turned off. She goes to the fridge to retrieve an egg, and this happens. She drops the egg in fright, while the man calmly turns off the blender. On day 24, the man enters his kitchen to get a glass of water. His back turned to the stove. One of the burners suddenly turns on of its own accord. A pan on the stove slowly slides over to the lit burner, again all on its own. The man just stands there drinking his water, watching this happen. He takes 2 eggs from the fridge and sets them on the counter, inviting the poltergeist to cook. Maybe this is the best way to go about living with a poltergeist. Just accept that you have a third, somewhat mischievous roommate. When strange things start happening inside your house, it's probably for a reason. Posted to the Chills Narrator subreddit by the Dude 101. This video was originally published to YouTube by Truthfinder30330 in April of 2020. According to the title, paranormal occurrences have been happening in this man's home. The first odd thing you notice is that when the man walks into his living room, the door is shut while he's arranging his gaming console and things on his entertainment center. The door opens somehow. He heads over to look outside and check it out. After finding no one, he returns inside and the door slams shut. He goes back outside, but there's no one there, no one inside either. As he's looking around outside again, the door slams shut and he's locked out. He peers inside, but there appears to be nothing. Now he has to go around to get back inside his house. He lifts his camera, catching himself in the sights, while also capturing something over his shoulder. What is that? As he continues walking, he says hello to someone on the street. He's at his front door again, which he unlocks with a key, and immediately this happens. Absolutely terrifying. Bet you can't handle this video. When a shadow passes through your security footage, you know you're not alone. Posted by Lily Monique to the Chills Narrator subreddit. Lily shares that her uncle David and her father work for mall security. She writes, This is what my dad and uncle caught on mall security cameras where they work in the middle of the night in the parking lot. The video shows David standing in the middle of the empty lot. He remains there in the light, and no one at all is around. But then a shadow passes close to the camera, completely blocking him from view for a moment. It almost looks as if a figure glided directly in front of the security camera. If I were David, I'd be looking over my shoulder in that parking garage. You are probably asking yourself what could possibly be scary about ice. Well, it's not so much about ice itself, but rather what's growing around the area that forms the cubes and pushes them out. A thick layer of yellow filth has taken over this restaurant ice machine, which is somehow still in service and making ice for customers. I'm not even sure what this specific part of the machine is used for, but I know I regret watching it. The yellow substance has crusted into black mold along the corners. Again, I honestly can't believe this video was recorded in a restaurant that was still open. And that's just what this ice machine looks like on the outside. What's growing inside is even worse. Take a look at this and tell me if you would want this floating anywhere near your cold drink. You'd think the cubes would be absolutely disgusting and easy to spot, but look at this ice. You'd never realize there was much of a problem, or where it really came from. A YouTube channel called Mysterious Oklahoma received this video from a subscriber who claims to have kept seeing something out of the corner of their eye in one spot of their house, so they set up a camera to record. What they capture is a fast-moving creature they refer to only as the Thing, which apparently moves so fast the camera has trouble keeping up. When you pause on it, you can see a very small figure that looks to be slightly lower resolution than the rest of the video, so it might not be real. A group of friends are poking around just outside of the legal limits of Area 51 when they make a strange discovery. At first, the creature appears to blend in with the scenery, but look closely and you can make out a long head and a curly tail.
Hold it super slow, quick.
What is that, dude? Oh, just change it. Yes. Look at this, dude. Look.
The creature stands up and appears to turn towards them. It must have a very good sense of hearing because its body language suggests that it has been startled by them. Suddenly, it disappears in a thin lay of bright white light, never to be seen again. If aliens can escape this easily, it's no wonder why they have rarely been filmed. Another explanation for this video, of course, is the possibility of CGI. What is moving in the darkness on this foggy road? The YouTuber thinks he spotted a skinwalker. He gets out of his car to take a closer look, but when he does, skinwalker or not, you'd better run. There's a meeting going down inside this office. The only problem? No one attended. Published by Teofilo in August of 2011, this mysterious activity was captured on camera. The video shows what looks like your everyday office, but you soon realize it absolutely isn't. A chair and stool move near simultaneously by themselves. After the chair slows to a standstill, the stool jerks out even further into the aisle. It continues to move, even tilting at one point. It later dives over onto the floor. Is this a ghost meeting gone wrong? Or is some visual trickery happening here? Either way, if you work here, it might be a good idea to call in sick tomorrow. This Saudi Arabian YouTuber decided to do some urban exploring in 2018. The property looks long abandoned, and they are forced to explore only by flashlight. Despite the creepy feel of the place from the very start, the men brave it out and continue exploring. It starts to appear as though the men are being watched, and on multiple occasions they check their surroundings to make sure they are all alone. It turns out their instincts are correct, as they capture what they claim is a witch. It definitely appears to be someone dressed in all black robes, with their face fully covered. I believe someone might have actually been living on the property, and they wanted to scare them away. Or do you think the YouTuber was correct, and this was an actual witch? It's unusual for ghosts to appear in broad daylight, but apparently this one likes to play games. Published by Ganjam's Pride in October of 2017, a female ghost was caught on camera at the top of this tree. You can see the figure of the purported ghost perched on the branch. It's frozen still there, unmoving, and it's not clear why. YouTubers in the comments have their opinions, while some think it has a logical explanation, like an inflatable doll caught in a tree. Others are 100% convinced this is a ghost. I suppose either might haunt you. Hear that haunting whistle coming round the bend? It might just be the ghost train. Posted to YouTube by the Hidden Underbelly 2.0 in March of 2018, the CCTV footage purports to show a ghost train at the Baotou railway station in China. The uploader writes, when the station security were watching the surveillance cameras, they noticed this ghost train pull into the station. The eerie footage shows a transparent train pull up along the platform, mounted on the train tracks. As the uploader mentioned, the train pauses for its ghostly passengers to enter and exit before slowly leaving the station, picking up speed as around 8 carriages move past. Some in the comments of this video suggest the train is just the Hogwarts Express or a failed cloaking spell from amateur wizards. Others say it's a train from a parallel universe. Some call out fake, saying this video is actually filmed in a Russian train state and has been debunked for being superimposed. Don't know about you, but I'd like to imagine this ghost train truly does exist and is transporting our recently departed to the afterlife. A YouTuber named The Maniac sets out with his cousin to explore the back roads of Maine. Within 5 minutes, a vehicle pulls up and somebody gets out while pointing at the ground. He doesn't identify himself, and he certainly isn't a police officer, so I think the maniac was in the right to try and get away. I will admit that they were going pretty fast earlier, so maybe that's why this person was so upset. Anyway, approximately 2 minutes later, they see him again, but he is already turning with a car behind him and unable to swing back around. This time the maniac speeds by him for a final look, and sure enough, the man is wearing the same gray shirt and watch as before. The maniac speeds off again before the man has a chance to get out of his car and try and make another attempt to stop him. If you're eating grapes right now, step away from the bunch. Published by Sam Turner in September of 2015. A close-up of this grape bunch shows that something is growing on it and that something is hatching.
Oh my lord. Oh my it's Ah!
A spider is literally crawling out of the grapes these people purchased from a chain grocery store. The grapes were packaged in plastic. There appears to be a web wrapped around the vine, and the yellow sac spider crawls out of it. Several people in the comments say they found the same thing in their grapes from various grocery stores. Some commenters implied that supermarket staff were somehow responsible. But Pika Pika writes, the grocery store doesn't just insert a free spider. Grapes are scary. It doesn't matter where they're from. I had baby spiders crawling out of my grapes along with supposed mothers. Moral of the story, don't eat expletive grapes. Or I'll add to that, just be mindful when you do.
Spider. Oh my. That's a spider crawling out of our grape.
This police cam footage was taken during a massive wildfire in Sonoma County, California in 2017. Officers are doing what they can to evacuate the public and restore order, but as this brief dashcam video shows, they were up against total chaos at the time.
It's had to work from the fire department and here it's back by actors. He said, here's unaware of which way the fire is going. They had so many fires, they can't really keep track at this point, and they also cannot answer.
Listen closely and you'll even hear the dispatcher say that they can't tell which direction the fire is spreading. and seems to be genuinely overwhelmed. I have to salute this officer and all of the other brave public officials who willingly charged into a massive blaze to try and help everyone. This reportedly leaked video shows the inside of an underground base full of foreign equipment. Rows and rows of what appears to be storage tanks stretch as far as the eye can see, though exactly what's inside is anyone's guess. Look closely at these smooth pods and you'll see that each one contains the dark outline of something growing inside. It looks vaguely human, though its true form cannot be determined. The video's quality is very grainy and looks to be taken at least decades ago, if not longer. Experts have been unable to prove a concrete source for this video, meaning it's probably original. I think that a movie set like this would have cost a lot of money to design, so this is either a very high-budget amateur film, or most likely real footage taken by unknown people. Let me know what you think it is and be sure to provide more information if you have any. Let There Be Light, posted to the Ghost Video subreddit by Zombie Foxes, the Redditor explains, the security guard quit after seeing the CCTV of an orb walking through a car park and turning on lights in the storage room. The lights can only be turned on with a sensor when you walk 4 to 5 steps in the bike store, which also requires a fob to access it. The video shows the car park in question. For a while, there's nothing to see here, but then the tiny white speck or orb floats slowly across the scene from the bottom right of the screen to the door. Just as it arrives there, the light beyond flicks on. Coincidence? Or is there just something here that we cannot see? If it's true that the lights are only triggered when a person enters, then who or what's inside? No wonder the security guard didn't want to stick around. Earl Kirkendall captures a bright light in the sky, but it's not a meteor, lightning, or an unidentified flying device. It's his poor neighbor's house erupting. This video is terrifying because of how calm everything is before, during, and after. There's no warning signs beforehand, and seconds later, you'd never know a family's entire livelihood has gone up in flames. Even scarier, a cause for the incident has yet to be determined, meaning anyone in the neighborhood could be next. Scary Russian dashcam video footage shows a man running away from an angry and aggressive bear. He uses his bike as a shield, but it doesn't seem to do him much good because the bear is on the verge of overpowering him when it suddenly retreats into the woods. There's no sound to this, but I'm guessing the only thing that scared this brown bear away was the car rolling up and laying on the horn. The biker was probably going to lose his life. So what could he have done better? One official working for the U.S. National Park Service says that you should stay calm and not panic if possible. Apparently the biker should also not be backing away because that only encourages the bear to keep moving forward. Any threatening gesture, like getting loud, could make it angrier. There's another person down the road who is probably shouting and further agitating the bear. One New Jersey Fish and Wildlife official says that she and the other man could stand next to each other with their arms raised over their heads. Apparently, two of them together in this position might make the bear think twice about taking them on. So while that's all well and good, I'm pretty sure that if a bear came charging at me, I am still screaming my head off. Some things are just too scary. An outdoor restaurant is about to be creepy, and it's all caught on CCTV tape. This top right couple seems to be having an intense conversation. At 10 seconds, there's some chest pounding on both sides. It looks like a bad breakup or something until 25 seconds when he stands up and is ready to storm out, but then points at the food lodged in his throat. They weren't having an argument at all. He was slowly becoming more and more unable to breathe. She starts patting him on the back, but apparently this is a big mistake. I am not giving any medical advice, but the Mayo Clinic says not to do this unless you're trained to deliver a special back blow between the shoulder blades. From what I've read, patting someone on the back can sometimes make the food move further down the windpipe and get even more stuck. A brave restaurant worker gets behind him, makes a fist with one hand slightly above the belly button, grabs his fist and gives a quick upward thrust as if picking him off the ground for a moment. This is called the Heimlich maneuver, and it's a good thing somebody in the restaurant knew it. Most states have laws in place for restaurant staff to have this kind of training, and this scary scenario caught on tape is exactly why. I encourage everyone to get the proper training because you never know when this could happen to someone nearby, maybe even you. There must be no scarier feeling than having an entire crowd watch you helplessly while you can't breathe. This man who helped him is truly a hero. Here's a bit of universal advice that applies to everyone, no matter which country you're in. If you and your friends are thinking about exploring some creepy haunted abandoned places, just don't. It could save your life. This YouTuber went exploring these abandoned houses in Egypt and caught some scary stuff on camera that left him and his friends running for their lives. The group has a bad feeling and should have left early, but they keep exploring because no one wants the shame that comes with being the most scared. They're looking for a way into this house but never get the chance.
اختفى ولا ايه؟ بس يا جدعان كان هنا حد انور عليه
They still can't believe what they are seeing, so they take one last final look. The figure is still there and they're still scared. When hiding in a field doesn't work, they decide to run deeper into the forest. Their plan works and they vow never to return to this area again, and for good reason. I don't know if there really was someone who they didn't know living in this place, or if it was just one of their friends. It's probably a skit though because of how slow the person chasing them walks. Captured at Hillview Manor in Newcastle, these paranormal explorers face their fears. Published by SCWC in October of 2019, the uploader calls this the scariest moment of their entire life. Although the video has no sound, the YouTuber says footsteps charged at them from down the hallway. The video shows their terrified reaction as they all look toward it. One of them even dives out of the way as the invisible spirit charges toward them. Noting that the footsteps ran between all of them, the uploader writes, "The walls and floor shook with every footstep this spirit took while running." While you don't see anything run past, this group's synced reaction seems more than genuine. What was in the Hill House with them? A man finds himself trapped on the 30th floor of the Shinjuku Center building in Tokyo after the entire city was rocked by a 9.1 quake. Now nowhere is safe and there is nothing left to do except to record as doors and cabinets swing open uncontrollably and the entire building shakes.
Oh!
Everything grows eerily silent, and then this voice cuts through the speakers. There is a lot of frantic chatter in the background, so I think it was a live broadcast, not a recording. Try and translate if you can, because if you were there, your life may have very well have depended on following these instructions.
こちらは防災センターです。ただいま大きな地震を感じました。この建物は地震に対して安全な設計になっております。
After a while, the speakers turn off, and the guest hopelessly watches as the buildings sway like trees. It's kind of hard to see what I'm talking about, because the building he's in is shaking too. This second video, taken near the top floor of the Shinjuku Center building, shows how bad the shaking really was. The buildings look like they are going to topple at any moment, but they are actually designed to be incredibly flexible and can withstand intense vibrations. Keep in mind that these are just the smaller aftershocks and not the actual quake itself, which was, believe it or not, much worse. An Urbex YouTuber called RNK All Day is exploring a creepy building that used to be a funeral home before it was abandoned. The funeral home is not haunted per se, at least not from what I can tell, but what they find is every bit as scary as any ghost video you'll ever watch. You see, a long time ago, this North Carolina establishment was shut down because of improper business operations. People were not notified about their loved ones in a timely fashion, and the remains were often not stored properly at all. As RNK All Day explores the abandoned building, he finds evidence of their misdeeds laying out in the open. Sitting in a battered cupboard box on an old altar is a discarded plastic bag full of what appears to be ashes. There's no way to tell if these are the ashes of someone until you look at the box. That definitely says cremation services. If this is what we think it is, which I think it almost definitely is, then they should be properly placed in an urn, not out in the open like this. And if there are more items like this lying around, then maybe this building is haunted after all. What's scarier than being home alone when you think you are, but you're actually not? Posted to the Chills Narrator subreddit by Amy Dancing Again, the Redditor explains that she was home alone and making a TikTok video when she started hearing noises. She writes, "I heard banging noises from the spare room we use for storage. No one else was home and there seems to also be a weird humming noise." The clip appears to be taken in Amy's room. Although faint, you can hear knocking and banging noises in the background. The strange humming sound could be a car passing or some sort of vehicular noise. But as for the banging, who knows? Can you hear that? Amy asks. Yes, Amy, we can. Time to take a leaf out of Macaulay Culkin's book and start setting up some booby traps. Some folks are good narrators getting carried away by their own storytelling. This one should have noticed how true her story was. This video was originally posted to TikTok by Briar May. In the video, Briar is telling a creepy story while sitting on her bed, as she describes how her stepsister used to wait under her bed and grab her ankles. The camera pans back to capture her bedroom door slamming closed at the most inopportune moment, heightening the fear of the horror story. But don't be distracted by the sounds. Look under the bed. Her room is not empty after all. Is that Briar's stepsister? Or are her ankles about to be grabbed by the true blue monster under the bed? This is a horror story come to life. I just hope everybody was alright. This aerial footage was broadcast live during a period of bad weather in Hebron, Ohio. Take a look at this flooded neighborhood and tell me if you see anything abnormal lurking in the dirty brown water.
Here with film specialist Carl Parker. So if you want to stay on and have a listen, Carl's looking at
A worm-like creature appears to wind its way around a house shortly before the camera zooms out. While this could be an ordinary piece of driftwood from the way it's moving in the water, I wouldn't be surprised if the floodwaters caused some sort of giant parasite to emerge from the sewers below. At around 3 a.m. on April 12, 2010, this strange apparition was captured on the security camera of a bar and grill in Las Cruces, New Mexico during closing hours. Published by Ghost Investigations, New Mexico in April of 2010. The crew slowed the frame-by-frame to 1/8 speed and shot video of the bar's security monitor. What they captured does indeed look like a floating head. In the regular shot, it appears to flash in and out quite quickly, while in the frame-by-frame, it looks like it actually flew out of sight. You can make out the eyes, nose, and mouth, and ears of the head's face, but it doesn't appear to have a body. There was no one inside the bar and grill at this hour. So what is this thing? Is it the face of a spirit? Where did its body go? An all-white mysterious mist approaches this home and briefly flies away, only to come back in the opposite direction and fly off camera once more. I was thinking that this could be some kind of bug crawling across the lens, until I took a second look, this time observing its behavior. Upon returning, the phantom mist reaches out and actually taps on the door with some kind of ghostly appendages. The timing and placement of its knocking gesture makes me think that this is probably a poltergeist playing tricks on the people inside. This trail camera captures some deer grazing when one of them pauses as if something is nearby. They look directly at the camera, and in that moment, a phantom pair of eyes move in the opposite direction. I was thinking that this could be a camera glitch that somehow reflects the deer's eyes back at an angle, but the eyes can be seen briefly again at the 12-second mark, and this time it looks like the deer notices and stares directly at them with more curiosity than fear. There are also plenty of other movements where the deer is looking at the camera without the phantomized presence, so it might not be the equipment after all. Could this be an unknown flying creature like the uploader seems to think? Some cultures believe that the forest itself develops a living spirit to watch over the creatures within, so maybe that is what we are all witnessing here. A YouTube channel called Free For All plans to explore a series of tunnels underneath Minneapolis that are rumored to eventually lead to a place called Satan's Cave, which no one has ever seen before. The group of friends grow progressively dirtier as they squeeze through narrow opening after narrow opening, sometimes climbing through sections of the tunnel that have almost completely collapsed just to see what's next. Soon the brick walls give way to smooth gray stone that more closely resembles the likes of a cave. When they see these highly detailed faces carved into the wall, they know they are on the right track. It's definitely a creepy sight for sure, but walls are still covered with tons of graffiti, which means that 1 million people have been here before. They aren't crossing new territory, at least not yet. After a while, they happen upon a side tunnel that seems to be unmarked and unexplored. They have to hunch over and eventually crawl on their hands and knees in order to continue. It's a long time before they stumble upon what has to be the narrow mouth of Satan's Cave. The cave eventually opens into a cramped chamber of sorts. The situation becomes all too real when they realize the hole in the wall is too narrow to crawl through. There is a hole to their left that leads straight down into pitch black darkness. Everyone gets an uneasy feeling about this huge floor opening, and they wisely decide to turn back around. Judging from the cave's nickname, I definitely wouldn't want to see what's down that final hole either. Sleepwalker has a few tricks up his sleeve, published to the Thai channel Haunted Before Bed. This security footage captures a sleepwalker's misadventures overnight, and they're scarier than you can even imagine. The sleepwalker is seen standing over his bedmate, then sitting straight up in bed. A little later, he is posed strangely like he's dancing. Another room security camera captures him standing over a table, staring at it for a moment. Then he reaches his arm towards a water bottle on the far end of the table. This is where things get truly creepy. His arm stretches like Gumby to grab the bottle, and then retracts to a normal length. Later, as he sits back in bed, an arm reaches out from under the bed. This time it's not his Gumby arm, it's someone else's. A couple of guys are shown sleeping in another room at around 2:40 in the morning, when suddenly a woman's scream is heard. They both get up from bed to investigate, and as they do, they hear a crashing sound like broken glass.
Fine.
They open the door to find the bed empty of its 2 occupants, and a human-like figure crouched on a windowsill, its eyes glowing as it looks at them. The figure then jumps from the 2nd floor. The cameraman races to the window, but only darkness reigns. What was this figure? And where did the sleepwalker and his roommate go? It's a twisted nightmare in the making. Something is buried in the debris of this house. Published by Proving Demons in December of 2021, these paranormal explorers couldn't last the whole night in this very haunted house. Immediately upon entering, they see that this house houses some strange stuff. They soon start to hear creepy noises as well.
I know, so just sit close to me. Who's that?
They also think they hear walking upstairs.
Yo, is there somebody in here?
As they're looking up the stairs, they start to hear a woman's voice humming. They don't encounter whatever is making the noise, but later as they're about to use a paranormal device, they hear another strange sound. A second sound follows as they're trying to make their way through all the garbage to leave.
Come with me.
They manage to get out of the place, and maybe just in time. This one is Out of Sight, published by Grid Synergy in November of 2017. This scary security footage was filmed in a computer lab at night. A man is working across two computers when an alarm sounds, jarring him to turn around. Clearly confused about what this alarm is for, the man gets up to look. After the alarm doesn't repeat, the man sits back down at his desk, satisfied that it must be nothing, but then a loud bang is heard. And after a moment off screen, a lot more racket is heard, followed by the man clearly fleeing in fear. He couldn't get out of there fast enough. What drove him to flee? With the man now gone, a strange creak is heard, followed by another loud bang. If only we could see what was happening off screen. Be careful what you wish for. This video allows a 360 view of what's going on. Head back to when the bang is heard. A light turns on in a room next to a foosball table. When the man heads off screen, he is heading over to check out this room. He looks in but sees nothing, though he picks something up off the floor. Perhaps this is what caused the noise. When he heads out again, he switches off the light. That's when the racket happens. The door slams and a chair shoots back from a desk in front of him. The man flees the scene, the light turns on in the room again, and this figure's reflection is seen in the window. As I said, be careful what you wish for, because now you can't unsee it. Breaking into a vehicle under the cover of darkness is common. Doing it directly in front of the car's owner, not so much. Published by Doorbell News in October of 2021, this crazy thief must have been seriously desperate. A woman is sitting outside her home in Phoenix, Arizona, talking on her phone as a toddler toddles around, doing baby things. While chatting, she looks up from her phone to find a man breaking into her friend Bubba's vehicle right in front of the house.
Hey! Hey! What are you doing? Bubba, is that...
The entire creepy event was captured on a Ring doorbell camera. You can vaguely see the man's white shirt as he approaches and then breaks into the vehicle. He didn't technically have to break anything as the car was open. The woman alerts her friend inside, who rushes out to see what's going on.
Can I pull you back? Hey!
The guard dog sets off a 12-bark alarm. Thankfully, the man wasn't able to take off in the vehicle before the police were called. In the description, the woman notes that he was taken into police custody. Definitely one for the books in my opinion. You don't see this every day. William Sloan has no idea what to make of this paranormal evidence and is asking for help from experts because he admits he doesn't know much about the other side. He was playing with a Ouija board when he made contact with a ghost who calls itself James. William must have forgotten to properly end the ceremony because ever since then, scary stuff like this happens way too often around his now haunted home.
Just rock it a little bit. Just a little bit.
Obviously, there's no one behind it or near it except for him, but the lighting is a little low, so maybe he was pulling on a piece of string to make it look like a ghost is moving the chair. Weeks later, William tries his best to harness some type of relationship with the spirit. train it if you will. One of the paranormal experiments is called the candle trick, and it involves trying to get James to move the candle around.
One more time.
Most objects, when pulled with a string, will glide over the smooth surface of a table. This sounds different, like it's being pushed down into the table with some amount of friction. William also claims to have been trying to get James to blow the candle out, but I guess that hasn't been caught on video yet. If you're still not sure what to make of this, you're not alone. Sometimes William himself has doubts, but whenever he does, it seems like the ghost has more scary moments to show.
I don't know. Just went down a little bit. I'm not convinced.
Even assuming the sliding glass door was open, the timing of the wind gust is undeniable. Much like the candle, William says he's not convinced, and then James convinces him.
Holy.
William has saved the best paranormal evidence for last. This time he gives James a new object, a bell. He doesn't believe in modern ghost hunting equipment and believes a simpler approach will yield the best results. He rings the bell a few times to show James that it works and then invites him to do the same.
You did that. Just give me one good ring if you're there. You see that? Is that happening?
Since William asked for help, I'll give my overall analysis. I think videos like this are hard to fake. I've seen a lot of them, and this is probably the most convincing, because I don't know how he could be faking ghost movement from that close. In other words, the bizarre activity is probably real. Recently, I've come across some YouTube channels showcasing these images of what appears to be the Statue of Liberty, moving her hands slightly to the right. It took me a long time, but I finally found the original video and can verify beyond all reasonable doubt that this giant moving statue video is edited. It is from a 2006 upload called The Statue of Liability, made by a computer animator named RODC 2006, who says in the description that it was made using a program called Blender 3D. So if you should ever happen to see these images somewhere online in the future, now you know it never happened and who originally made it. Props to RODC 2006 for being so good at editing that he continues to fool people so many years later. A YouTuber named Shiva the Vlogger goes to an old movie theater in India that is said to be inhabited by something not of our plane of existence. The interior is completely destroyed, as if something has stomped its way through here many times before. Nothing about it feels safe or abandoned. As they make their way from room to demolished room, they move in a hurry and try to record as much as they can as quickly as possible to avoid staying there for long. To be honest, most of the amateur footage is pointed at the ground, but at 7 minutes and 29 seconds they record a strange figure leaning out of the doorway to look at them. I think they probably would have immediately noticed something this big and ran away, so I'm pretty sure it's just a hole in the wall or something, but let me know what you see, and if you think it's a shadow figure like they claim it could have been. Todd Peterson has been experiencing some paranormal activity in his doorway, so he decides to try and see if he can record it on camera. When he locks his bedroom door, you can clearly see that there is no string attached to the lock. The door does not open easily and requires some force to push. He takes 4 large steps away from the door and holds the camera steady. Just when he is starting to give up hope, he finally gets the evidence he needs to prove he hasn't lost his mind. The entire video is less than a minute long and has absolutely no editing. There's just no way to fake this video in my opinion, but if you think you have an alternative explanation, please let me hear it. A suspicious looking man is all eyes as he creeps up to a luxury hotel room in India. At 22 seconds, the intruder looks into the window and contemplates doing something terrible to whoever's inside. His hand goes up to his mouth like he's uncertain. Maybe he is having a change of heart, but more realistically, he's probably noticing how many cameras there are in this hotel and finding someplace else. Even though he doesn't follow through, this is probably one of the creepiest looking disguises I've seen someone wear. I can only imagine how terrified hotel workers were when whoever was inside complained and they checked the cameras only to see floating eyes. Hopefully he never comes back. An unnamed European castle is the subject of investigation on a ghost hunting YouTube channel called Paranormal Mystery. They are hastily setting up a CCTV system for the evening's investigation when they realize the battery is being drained from all of them really fast. But right before the cameras power down, they manage to capture this ghost on CCTV.
Holy. Tell me. You got it.
A ghost walks by and dissipates before it reaches the last step. I don't know if this is computer editing, but the way it slowly shrinks and then goes away is more complex than a simple fade-out shot. This video was taken in 2008, so the video quality is actually quite good and still holds up to this day. Their surprised reactions make me think this could be real. This video was taken in a public housing development on Jurong Road in Singapore. Audrey Anthony claims he's been experiencing strange supernatural occurrences on his property and decides to set up a CCTV system. He's both amazed and terrified when one of his cameras actually verifies his story. A small white object darts down the hall with enough force to rustle some clothing. A slowed down version of the video reveals a vaguely childlike figure about the size of a toddler. It could just be video editing, but let me know if you see it and what you think it is. Don't believe in unknown beings? What if one strolled right up to tap on your window? This unknown being footage, posted to the Chills Narrator subreddit by 77Kuren, will inspire you to take a trip over to Area 51. The footage shows an unknown being approach the window of a home. Its features are quite clear, with black gashes for eyes and an elongated cranium. You know, the kind of features you might expect from an unknown being. The unknown being stands there, peering into the home observing. It even looks as though it's trying to find a way to open the window. If that is indeed what it's doing, it doesn't succeed, instead slinking off, perhaps to find the homeowner to take him. What do you think of this unknown being footage, real or fake? Either way, I'll be locking my windows tonight. The Odyssey Paranormal Society is a Minnesota-based group of ghost hunters who become close after a number of bizarre and scary shared experiences like this one in May of 2015. While conducting a paranormal investigation at a haunted house, a ghost hunter named Sean makes a request for any spirit to make their presence known.
Wherever you can do, wherever you can manifest your energy with. Jesus.
Two orbs float overhead, followed by a loud noise that makes Sean jump. The next month, they get more paranormal evidence that the house is haunted. This time in the basement, when a hideous ghost face appears on a night vision camera in the window at 2 a.m. There's also some kind of light anomaly at the very beginning of this video that could be an apparition. Light shouldn't be reflecting off of anything in a dark basement, so this is bizarre. And 5 years later, the Odyssey Paranormal Society continues to make ghost hunting videos that are beyond creepy. They are exploring the second floor of an abandoned home when they stop for a moment to try and communicate with the other side.
Could you make a noise? Like, that was okay.
It doesn't sound like an animal, and it doesn't sound like passing traffic. This is the voice of a ghostly woman screaming her answer to their question from far away. This home surveillance footage from 2009 shows the Jameson family acting strangely on their property in Eufaula, Oklahoma shortly before they disappeared. They can be seen making about 20 trips to and from their house without talking to each other at all. Some investigators even believe they were in a trance-like state. The Jamesons were not seen again for years until hunters found their scattered remains in 2014. No one knows what happened to them because their remains were too decomposed for forensic testing. The cause of their demise has never and probably will never be determined, so all that remains of their last days is this videotape. This unsolved CCTV video shows a man struggling to drag something heavy down the steps late at night. As he makes a turn, you can see he's pulling a black bag that's quite large out of view. While this is happening, somebody who is staying late at the office happens to see him, which is how I guess this videotape was reported and later archived for further investigation. Nothing else happens until 42 minutes later when the incident repeats itself. The creepy man drags another mysterious black bag down the steps and out the door. At 10 seconds, you get a better look and it definitely looks like a garbage bag to me. I really hope that this person wasn't dragging two people out, but that's exactly what it looks like happens. Maybe there's a good alternate explanation, but I have no idea why this guest would wait until the middle of the night to remove these objects from his room and never return. Larry Glow has a haunted home that keeps him on edge at all times. He records down the hallway because a ghost is down there. He's sure of it. I'm not sure what he is saying and need your help to fully understand.
Lo que está pasando. Sé que yo escuché algo por aquí. Esto está jodón, esta vaina aquí.
He hears a loud noise from behind as the ghost walks past and touches a light. The living room is where he experiences the most paranormal activity, so there's already a second camera all set up. Here's the same scary moment from a different angle. As you can see, he hears a bang, turns around, and that's when this stuffed animal gets possessed. Is someone pulling strings off camera, or are these objects moving on their own? On a trip to Thailand, YouTuber D-Doc Michael skipped the beaches and instead spent his holiday exploring this intensely haunted house. Upon entering, he hears whispers. He continues his exploration but is scared off by another voice.
어이 씨발 깜짝이야 누구야?
Still, he stays. As the search goes on, he hears another noise.
누구세요? Who are you?
And at last, he sees what's making it.
Help!
The stranger in the abandoned place is ready to throw down.
What? Who are you? Hey!
Sarai. What I'm not.
What?
Michael runs off, thankfully escaping unharmed. To me, this just goes to show that live humans are often scarier than spirits. What happens when a jinn is out to get you? YouTuber Hassan Barbar knows a thing or two about that. The jinn is on his tail in this video. He first hears it banging around in the next room.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم أعوذ بكلمات الله التامات من شر ما خلق بسم الله.
Where is it hiding? It seems so close and yet it's nowhere in sight. Still, it's right behind him at every turn.
طب وينك؟
Soon the jinn's energy grows unstable.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم
And it's nearer than he thinks. Watch the door to his left.
طب في حد؟ طب إذا أنت وين اظهر لي؟ يعني أعطيني أي إشارة.
One of Hassan's hands is holding his camera, the other is at his side, so it's without question that the door was nudged by the jinn. Back at the rocking chair, the jinn is heard moaning again.
كيف أعرف إنه أنا بدي ألمس الدب؟ كيف أعرف إنه أنا بدي ألمسه؟ طب وينك؟
What is he saying? What does he want? I think this game of hide and seek is not a game at all. The jinn is after Hassan's soul. Russian YouTuber Eugene from Dark Mystic captured something in his home. Let's take a look. First, it shows up in the darkened window behind him.
У них начались какие-то шорохи, шумы, падения. И самое главное, что мне больше всего понравилось в этом письме, то, что они говорят, мы стояли ошарашенные, и поднимается ни с того, что предмет. Я не помню, какой он там в описании предмет. Он просто говорит, поднимается воздух.
Did you see the figure moving in the window? Then, while inside, he hears something.
Опа. Это что такое?
Nobody answers. Later, as he's capturing video under a crawl space, another disturbance is heard.
Ой. Откуда взялась-то?
Then, in the shed, he sees two glowing eyes.
Так попробуем запечатлеть. Ой. Я такие глаза. Я так и не вижу. Смотрите, глаза какие-то. Пошел-ка я за фонариком, сейчас посмотрим.
The eyes disappear. Do they belong to whatever phantom is causing such mayhem in his home? Or was all that racket caused by a cat or other animal? But then again, what about the figure in the window? I think Eugene should look into this further to find out what exactly he's dealing with. Who is standing in the shadows? Published in December of 2021, the Cornish Ghost Whispers Paranormal UK team managed to capture a full-body apparition of what appears to be a man. The footage was taken at South Wheel Francis Tin Mine. In the darkness between two large pillars, a dark figure manifests before their very eyes. The woman says hello to the apparition several times, but receives no answer.
Keep sharing, guys. Look at this. Hello? Hello?
She points out on camera where the figure appears. Do you see the Tin Mine Man? Or is it just a trick of the light? This church is apparently haunted. YouTube team Signs and Signals return to an abandoned church that's haunted them since one of their first paranormal investigations. First, they head to the cemetery to recall where they saw this.
And yep, right over there. Went straight to that bush.
It looks like an extra large bat, maybe a vampire mid-transformation. As they're checking around the bush, they hear something come from the church.
Well, people were saying it was going in the bush. We checked it plenty of times. Dale?
That was...
You know what that means.
100% in the church.
They approach and peer in through a window.
I swear.
Door. I heard the door.
Yeah, I swear to God, I just heard the door do something, like something knocked on the door.
Something is in there, but they have yet to see it. When they near the door, they find it open.
You better come on around for me. Come on. And...
Once inside, the creepy feeling escalates.
I already feel like I'm like being stared at everywhere I look. How long?
As long as it takes.
As Dale is talking about the last experience he had here, a light behind him flickers.
I started feeling all weird and like hot and everything and started getting mad and stuff.
But behind you, Dale. Behind you. Light. It's not the same one.
Is this real? It's not that light.
It's not the same one.
When they approach the spirit, it makes its presence known.
No knock a book over. Did you hear that?
I thought that was you.
No.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
They investigate further, then they capture this.
Oh my.
Dale.
Please tell me you got that.
I did.
You got that?
I did.
There's something in this church, and they don't want this paranormal team trespassing. Not at all.
Cool and pretty clear, and it's so.
Oh my. Dale.
See.
I told you. It's the piano. It's the piano, dude. Oh my.
In my opinion, it's time for them to leave this place, especially after they managed to photograph this. That terrifying shadow sends the coldest of chills down my spine. Without a doubt, this place appears haunted to me. YouTuber NM Ghost Hunter shares a series of videos in which he's documented the poltergeist activity happening in his home. Let's take a look. This first piece of footage occurred on February 5th, 2022. This happens for a full minute, while in another room this happens. In a second clip, captured on February 21st, the poltergeist strategically destroys his kitchen. In a third clip, captured on the 10th of August, the poltergeist was making a lot of noise in the garage, so the YouTuber grabbed his camera. This is what he captured.
Evil, flick the light again.
And this is the footage he captured on his handheld camera.
Are you evil? Is that a yes or a no? If you're evil, flick the light again. Okay. Tomorrow.
After this, he went back inside, but left one camera in the garage filming. It captured this. And lastly, on November 12th, he captured some activity near the living room. Watch the bookshelf. Here it is from another angle. This all certainly looks alarming to me. I think this is more than enough evidence to call in the Ghostbusters. All of the occupants of this home are said to have passed away of unknown causes. Dark Arts TV has come to investigate. First, they show a clip from Abandoned World Explorer UK, who has also explored this abandoned home and experienced something sinister here.
What was that? I kid you not, guys, we were in the house and
There's a bell that just rolled. We literally just got out. I can hear some strange noises coming in this place, just being in there. He was acting cool, like funny.
In the home, they come across a smashed cabinet full of whiskey glasses.
No.
Look at that. Is that whiskey? Or is that just the colour of the glass?
Man, that is sad. Someone's actually smashed the glass.
As they speak to the spirits via spirit box, they notice the curtain moving.
Wait, the curtain started moving.
Oh, yo, the curtain's moving, bro.
Wait, can you move it again, please? Move it again. I just saw the
curtain just moved.
I just saw.
Then the spirits really start horsing around.
What was that? Did someone else just throw something again? Did someone else just throw something again? No, I don't know. I'm literally in front of the camera as well, man.
As one of the crew is talking to a spirit named Macy, he sees something through the curtain.
So, Maisie, was it you looking out the window? I've just seen something there. What the was that? I'm going to close the curtain. Close the curtain.
And then, while they're wandering, this happens.
Whoa, what the was that, bro? What the Yo, boys! No way.
Did whatever is lurking here mysteriously take the lives of every last occupant of this home? I'm sensing something dark here, so I'm gonna say the answer is yes. The paranormal boys experience crazy paranormal activity in this place frozen in time. As they're speaking to the spirits, they hear something.
Did you hear that?
That was definitely a knock. Later, using a spirit box app, they capture this. As they continue speaking, they're sent some terrifying messages.
If you're in this room, can you affect some of the devices we put down? Where are you, Tom? Was that Ben?
And then the spirits respond directly.
Copy this. You joking me? Did you hear that?
Still, it warns them.
Hey? Yeah, it's just sitting to sofa. What was that? Dead.
There's someone upstairs.
You hear that up there? Living. You hear that up there? Living.
Since the team won't listen to the spirit's warnings, it takes matters into its own hands.
I thought you pushed my arm then. Something just... Jeffrey. Something just pushed my arm.
What pushed his arm? I think it was Jeffrey. But in the end, it could be any one of the demons haunting this place. Seen at a distance, TikToker JenUs58 is wondering, what is that? Let's take a look. The figure appears to be running in the beginning and then, mysteriously, stands frozen still. When the driver flashes its lights, the figure starts running again. He gets closer and finds that the figure appears headless. It then disappears into the darkness. But when he returns to his car, he turns to find the ghost has reappeared. So was it a ghost or something else? Well, I'm pondering that question. Most in the comments are wondering why the guy even got out of his car. When you explore abandoned places, you're bound to run into squatters once in a while. YouTuber Aiden's Escapades isn't sure if he's encountering a person or a pile of blankets during his current escapade. Judge for yourself.
Oh, no, T-War. You got that stick, right? My heart is racing. It's been moved. Is there anything underneath there, John? Pull it all the way off. Just pull it all the way off.
Although they don't find a human body beneath the body-shaped pile of blankets, they do find a living creature.
Oh, you're sitting in the bed. Amber, come here. Pick the little guy up. Looks like he's gonna do okay.
And that's not the only thing living in this abandoned home.
That, these guys up shit.
Aiden concludes that they may have investigated too late,
Is anything underneath those blankets? It's not here now.
but my verdict is that it was just blankets all along. Have you ever gotten physically ill from watching paranormal footage? Redditor Minimum Session 4039 has, and this is the piece that made them sick.
Been doing this all morning and I don't have time for this today. Stop. Hey, buddy. I got too much going on. You gotta cut it out. Oh, okay.
After setting the camera down, the activity only gets creepier.
I am sick. You gotta go, or you guys want us here, or something with wherever you need to go. You gotta go. Calm down.
You can see a distinct shadow figure standing halfway down the stairs. This is clearly the culprit who's opening and shutting the door.
He's okay. Please, it's not today. Just, holy cow.
There is definitely a ghost that likes mischief. I don't think this is at the level of burn the house down yet, but I would be keeping an eye on this playful phantom. A ranch worker experienced paranormal activity for 3 years at her ranch, so she called the YouTube team, Ghost Club Paranormal, in to investigate. They think they found where the spirits are entering.
Is this a portal of some sort? With the two mirrors facing each other?
Is this how you come and go?
Then there's a noise in one of the portals.
Oh, I don't get the feeling that they're related either. I thought I just heard something like the closet. I thought I heard the closet. Something in the closet.
Is that you in the closet?
One spirit likes a bit of chewing tobacco.
Is this what you wanted? If you want it, you have to get close to it, okay? Can you grab that? What?
It just lit up.
Shortly after they receive this clear EVP,
And that's who the owner smells, isn't it? She smells you. And she's trying to sleep at night. She can smell the cigarette smoke.
it sounds like the disembodied voice says, "Yeah, that's me." Later in the darkness, they all see something at once.
What was that?
I don't know. I saw the same thing you did. I just felt it out of the corner of my eye. I saw something move over there. I felt the same thing. I saw something move, or movement going on to the right here.
Could it be the spirit that spoke those words earlier? I think it very well could be, but it seems to me that whoever is haunting this ranch doesn't mean any harm. Did a ghost follow this goat shepherd home? Redditor Own Information 8149 writes that after searching for his goat in a forest at around 7 p.m., he came home and was filming his cat when this happened. Watch outside the grilled gate. Did you see the strange figure in white? A moment later, something bangs on the door beside him. Was that just the cat? Or did the spirits have something to do with it? Some in the comments are skeptical, while others are mystified. Some think it's just someone sitting outside. Personally, it looks like a reflection to me. Maybe there's a mirror or some reflective glass hanging there. It's hard to tell for sure, but I wouldn't automatically assume a ghost with this one. YouTube team Charm City Paranormal investigate the haunted Wilson Castle in Proctor, Vermont, and what they discover there is truly haunting. They first encounter a spirit named Zachary via EVP in the ballroom on the 3rd floor. While I don't necessarily hear this phrase, I do hear a bone-chilling, disembodied voice. A recording device captures another EVP, but this one is truly indecipherable. Any theories as to what it says? After speaking directly with the spirit, some unexplained sounds are heard.
We do something to offend or upset you?
I should circle them and say yes.
Later, they also believe they've caught an apparition on camera. I'll let Mike explain.
Grabbing my second angle, I briefly lingered in the threshold of one of the closets, and during this time, captured a very strange anomaly on the camera, and I can't come up with a solid reason as to what this is. Ethan is currently the only one in the room with a light on, and is on the opposite side of the room.
I'm not sure what that is either. I can't think of a logical explanation, and I wouldn't discount the paranormal in a historic castle like this one. What spirit lurks on the 17th floor of this office building? YouTuber Billy Turner shares this spooky video, noting that the 17th floor has been out of use for more than a year.
Peep how this door open. Oh, mind you, this is the 17th floor that hasn't been used in over a year and a half. Yeah. I know you wonder what opened those doors.
Billy notes that before the doors open, something also appears to move in the hallway.
Let's see if we can bring it back and see now again. Okay, now, there's no motion detected. There's something moving right here that you peep and see in the video a little bit. But peep the elevator, though. Mind you, this 17th floor, nobody uses this floor.
And the elevator doors open and shut, like someone just got off the elevator.
Something gets off the elevator, and there's a motion detector's there. And there go the doors again. How did that happen? Because we have Ghost, 59 Maiden Lane.
If it had just been the doors opening, I think this could be explained, but the whole sequence, the elevator, the movement, and the doors opening, convinces me that someone unseen just got off on this floor and went about their business wicked. In this abandoned place, the jinn is at full force, and YouTuber Hassan Barbar encounters his terrible presence. It begins with the slamming of a door.
ايه أعوذ بالله من الشيطان بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
The search continues, and the jinn grows more aggressive.
بسم الله الذي لا يضر مع اسمه شيء في الأرض ولا في السماء وهو السميع العليم. أعوذ بالله بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
And he's around every corner.
شوف تتحرك يا اخوان.
Although Hassan searches the whole place, he only captures a glimpse of the jinn.
شو هذا؟ هاي طارت. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
Where is the jinn hiding? Maybe that's best left unanswered. I don't think I'd want to find him. Something went down in this condominium lobby, and the ghosts have remained here ever since. Redditor Mr. Top Stallion shares this security footage of the mysterious happenings at a luxury condominium in Florida. The Redditor says they've seen translucent figures in all three buildings of this condominium. But Redditors in the comments think this can be explained with some saying it's a temperature differential, others a glass flaw shatter, and still others a hot spot due to the light above. Regardless of these naysayers, considering the history of this place, I think it's a poltergeist's doing. Ever have that feeling that someone else is here? YouTuber Exploring with Joe has. I'll let him explain.
Hi guys, got an experiment today, and I used the SLS the other day, and there was a figure lying on the settee. So I'm going to do a little bit of an investigation, just to see if there's anything in my house.
As he speaks to the spirits via the spirit box, his K2 spikes.
Can you say Gene for me, if you are Gene?
Gene is here. Joe gets double confirmation.
Is this Gene I'm talking to?
With the investigation complete, one question remains. Is Gene a good spirit or an evil one? I suppose that would depend on what weird stuff the spirit has been up to in Joe's house. I'd keep a watchful eye on things if I was him. All that's left behind is left to wilt in this abandoned house in the mountains. YouTuber Adam Mark Explores takes us on a journey into the past as he tours this haunting place. First, he comes across this old photograph.
Wow. Just mad thought to think that all these people have passed away now.
But it's as he heads toward the cupboard that he thinks the people in those photos are not long gone after all.
Oh my, what? Matt, the fucking cupboard's just opened on its own.
No way.
I've got it on camera.
Let's see that again.
Oh my, what?
Did he maybe nudge the cupboard a bit upon approach? It's possible, but to me, his reaction sells it. I believe the cupboard popped open on its own without any help at all. Well, apart from the help of the ghost, of course. This house is so haunted that no one can last the night. YouTuber Adam Mark Explores tries his best too, but the challenge is more than he can handle. As he asks the spirit to make its presence known, he hears footsteps.
Move one of these chairs. Whoa.
It seems to me like the footsteps are his partners, but they do seem to continue after he stops walking. Later, he is using a recording device when he hears movement behind him.
So just touch my foot then.
Just as Matt feels that something touched him, a Steadicam captures the basement door opening.
But I don't know if it was just me overthinking it. I felt it here, like something, like my jumper moved. But it could have been, I don't know. Could have just been my mind. But
This place is so haunted, no one can last a night. I'm surprised the guys have lasted this long. I sure wouldn't. It's Alive, YouTube channel Scary Station features this strange creature that frankly looks to me like a human head. It looks like a head until it does this. Even if these guys poked and prodded the thing all night, I don't think we'd be any closer to knowing what it is. All I know for sure is, it's giving me the chills. Imagine singing the world's creepiest song while riding down a 100-year-old elevator in a haunted hospital. Well, you don't have to imagine it. TikToker Dref David TV shares this video of just such a fearless thrill seeker.
Daisy, Daisy, give me your answer.
answer do? I'm half crazy, all for the...
The guy shuts himself in and rides it down, and many in the comments are awestruck.
Won't be a stylish marriage. I can't afford a carriage, but you'll look sweet on the seat of a bicycle.
Illusion or not, if I wasn't afraid of the ghosts, I'd at least have some fear to spare for that elevator. This house has the hand of the devil on it. YouTube team HD Adam investigates the creepy place, and hopefully they won't be touched by it. As they search the empty place, loud bangs and creepy whispers are heard. I don't think that voice was the cameraman, and as they continue through the home, that becomes more apparent.
Allah.
Tut.
Abi bak buraya ne zaman girsek bu kapıyı üstümüze kapatmayın.
Tut.
Tövbe estağfurullah.
Upstairs, things start to get creepier.
Ne oluyor lan? Bak. Ne bebeği?
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim.
With sounds coming from all around you, they grow nervous.
İfrit! Allah! Arkana bak. Arkana bak. Allah! Bismillahirrahmanirrahim.
There's something inside this thing.
Allah! Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Allah!
And I wouldn't want it to get out, but maybe it's gotten out already.
Allah! Allah! Euzubillahimineşşeytanirracim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Lan baksana oraya. Abi sen niye kilitleniyorsun oğlum?
That was a hand waving from the beyond. Is it the hand of the devil? These guys think so, and it's not going to let them leave.
Abi gidiyorum peşimden gel. Koş. Var mı bir şey? Abi bir şey yok. Tuvalete de bakıyorum.
Would you expect mercy at the hands of the devil?
Abi. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Bismillah. Şurayı aç.
Me neither. That's why I'd get out while I still can, if that's even an option at this point. YouTuber Ricky Velasquez visits the most haunted house in Guadalajara, Mexico, and what he witnesses there will send chills down your spine.
¿Escuchan todo eso? ¿Cuál es tu nombre?
What was that noise? Listen again. These voices or whispers are deeply unsettling, and along with the visual evidence of a figure captured by the Kinect, I think this place is for sure haunted.
¡Wow! No puedo creerlo. Muchas gracias.
After a while, the figure suddenly disappears.
¿Por esto querías que viniera?
But they leave their voice behind.
¿Cómo te puedo ayudar, amigo? ¿Qué pasa?
This house in Guadalajara sure lives up to its reputation. To me, there seems like plenty of proof here that the place is the city's most haunted. YouTube team Ghost Theory investigates the centuries-old mansion and care home Uphill Grange in the UK. As they ask the spirits to show their presence, they almost instantly get a response.
That was pretty instant, if that was... a few knocks, yeah? Yeah, it was like glass.
And the knocks continue.
Did you hear the knock?
Yeah.
There was a knock.
Down a dark hallway, they hear another unexplained noise. It sounds like someone is there. On the stairs, they hear more thuds and bumps. While there was no obvious paranormal activity in this haunted mansion, I do feel something is here. The phantoms are creeping around the place, like they're in the walls. What's being captured here, if it's genuine, would represent one of the most compelling pieces of paranormal footage to surface recently. What stands out technically is the lack of a clear light source illuminating the figure. That's either suspicious or exactly what you'd expect from something that doesn't belong in our world. In the world of paranormal investigation, this type of footage generates more debate than almost any other because the line between a real apparition and a well-executed fake is razor thin. Skeptics would point to the convenient framing and the camera quality as reasons to doubt this. Believers would point to those same things as reasons it feels authentic. So does this look real to you, or does something feel staged? The comments are open. Let me know what you think is going on here. A horrifying event happened in this home. 3 sisters all had their lives taken here, and ever since, it has been abandoned and haunted. YouTube team Ming's Paranormal investigates the abandoned house. One YouTuber hears a whistle during the home tour. Did you hear it? Here it is again. In another instance, this mysterious orb descends from above, disappearing halfway across the screen. That doesn't look like your average dust particle. Do the souls of the 3 sisters still linger in this abandoned house? I definitely think the team should spend more time here to see if they can make further contact. But personally, I don't think I'd have the guts to step foot in this place. While staying the night at the haunted Brookstown Inn in Winston-Salem, North Carolina, the YouTube team Just Ghouly Things is pushed down the stairs by a ghost.
Oh my, are you okay? Are you okay? I felt like something pushed me. Dude, no. Are you serious?
Her feet seem to slip right out from under her, and she says she felt like she was pushed.
Oh my, okay. Are you okay?
I don't know about this one. It looks like she's taking small enough steps to where she would have been solid in her descent. So this suggests to me she was pushed. But then again, those stairs look slippery. What do you think happened here? There are more scary videos waiting for you. Check out this next compilation, or dive into a full playlist if you think you can handle it.